Nerdrotic.com.
Jeez Louise, what the hell's going on with my soundboard? I think this thing's starting to fart out because of the heat. Or because it's just taking a beating. I don't know. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Nerdrotic Nooner. It's hot. And my air conditioning broke in my house. So I've got fans blowing on me. So I'm getting blown. I hope everybody is having a wonderful Labor Day weekend. This is a Labor Day special where we're just going to talk about Shang-Chi and whatever. It's not much going on. Hollywood is shuffling because after got to give it to Disney. After moving those goalposts, they have somehow convinced people that the second or possibly lowest grossing Marvel film in the franchise on an opening 3-day weekend is a success. When there was a time where you could release an Iron Man film on a Wednesday in the middle of February and it would have made $1 billion. But apparently Delta variant has something to do with this, although it doesn't really seem to be affecting football games, wrestling matches, concerts. So we'll see. It's looking a lot like the first week of Black Widow. Because collectively, I think some Marvel fans have the memory of an ostrich, but that's okay. We'll see. Maybe it'll do great. I don't think it was as bad as Black Widow. Black Widow was pretty fucking bad, but it was bad. It was upon reflection, it might even be a little worse than I remember. I'm not going to watch it again, so. But I put my review up yesterday, edited by the great Perry Chan. Have had some excellent feedback on that. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was not his movie. You know, I go to a Shang-Chi movie to see. And by the way, I say Shang-Chi. I've been saying Shang-Chi for 40 some odd years. I don't know when it turned to Shang-Chi. Never heard that before. In all of my time, but hey, I could be wrong. I've never talked to Jim Starlin in person, so he and Steve Englehart. You know, I have talked to Steve Englehart, but I didn't ask him about Shang-Chi or Shang-Chi. I'm just going to say Shang-Chi. So I don't know how many of you saw it. I posted a 7:00 show yesterday here at my local theater. And again, just like Friday, about 50 tickets were sold in a 500-seat IMAX theater. So maybe people are seeing it somewhere else. And here in San Diego, they're just going to the beach and not giving a shit. I mean, that is kind of San Diego. Just going to the beach and not giving a shit. So we'll see. I mean, I live in a county of 3.3 million people. And none of the theaters were sold out. They weren't adding shows. I heard that they were adding shows, and maybe they were in L.A., but not here. Not here. So let's see who's here. We got Bastard. We got Two Tone. We got Chris P. We got Mila. Is it Mila? Mila. Ray Lavi. Ron Flasco. Gumshoe. Shark Dentures. Just Another Red Shirt, Eric K. and his Wrench, Prometheus, Jose Aguilar, Brian Duncan. I'm trying to catch these names as they go by. Nicholas Horton, Von Max, Ellie Afcan 90, Dat VI Guy, JDC, hail. Nixon, Paul, hologram nunchuck. Oh, now it's going faster. Oh, no. Honda, John D, Ruben, Christopher Haynes. What's up, Ruben? I met Ruben. Appalimi's Minion. Are you driving right now? Oh, Lord, there's Truck Dog. We love Truck Dog. John Edger. I'm going to have to slow this down a little bit. Nerdy Girl Creates, who was the first person to put the media in check that I saw on Twitter. Maybe somebody did it before about, Brandon Lee exists. Well, he did exist and was in a great movie called The Crow. That's what I recommend you watch this weekend. If you haven't seen The Crow, The Crow is my favorite 90s superhero film, number one. And that got me to thinking. I'll probably put this on Twitter. I was talking about it in my square up last night. What's the top 10, top 5 90s superhero movies? And do we count 1990 as the 90s? I guess so, but that's technically the 80s. Because just off the top of my head, it would be God, there's something like right here in my glasses. What the hell is that? It would be The Crow, Blade, Batman Returns, Rocketeer. Batman Mask of the Phantasm is the best, but that's animated, so we'll say live action. Blade 2, or did that come out in the 2000s? I can't remember. But top 3 for sure, Crow, Blade, Batman Returns for me. X-Men. X-Men came out in 1999. That would be up there. I like The Mask. Thought that was really good. I loved Batman Forever when I walked out of the movie theater, but, upon further reflection, I guess for nostalgia reasons, I could like some of it, but, yeah. But no, I remember people hating on Batman Returns, and I, unfortunately, did not get to see that in a theater because I was locked up when it came out. So I watched it on VHS for the first time. And I fucking loved it. I loved it. I know they were freaking out that it was too dark, and that's hilarious considering what we're getting today. It's absolutely hilarious. I know I'm missing some 90s movies, but like The Crow for sure is number one for me. An achievement in editing, considering your actor was gone for 3/4 of the filming. And you can definitely see, where the stand-in actor is, but it's still just such a fucking great movie. Brandon Lee was awesome in it. I love the whole tone, love the soundtrack. And they better not remake it. Well, if they do, yeah, it'll be the typical. I wonder who has the rights to The Crow. Curious about that. So, Shang-Chi. We can have a nice lengthy discussion about Shang-Chi because there ain't much else to talk about. So 90 million, I believe, counting today. They're counting today. So the day's not over yet, but they're projecting like another only a 2% drop off for today from Sunday, which was 22 million. It made 8 million on its Thursday previews. That's a lot less than Scarlett Johansson. Now, Scarlett Johansson's lawsuit just took a giant dump over this weekend, which is too bad because I just like to see Disney lose. And there's talk of there being some strife behind the scenes. There always is, especially with Disney. Disney lets the companies that they procure run autonomously for a while. Ask Pixar. Pixar was allowed to be Pixar for a long time. And for a long time, Pixar was a very successful, brilliant, innovating company. But as time went on, Disney's claws started getting into Pixar, and now Pixar is just not what it once was. Lucasfilm runs pretty autonomously until like the last couple of years. then that's probably pretty questionable. But I don't know. All I know is Lucasfilm is a fragging mess, and I don't think it can recover. And Marvel has been the crown jewel until very recently. And it almost feels like a bait and switch. Like, hey, we're going to make fun entertainment, quality entertainment. But as time went on, it just got more homogenous, more generic, more cookie cutter. We're cutting corners here and there. We're finding cheaper ways to make these films. Oh, we don't need to hire directors. We can just say this person's a director and have 3/4 of the film made for them, and all they have to do is shoot the actors. That's what Marvel has turned into. So I said, at the very best, Shang-Chi is an absolute consumable, generic Disney product. And I'm going to be spoiling parts of Shang-Chi, just so you know. Starts out okay. It's a little rom-com-y. Simu Liu is he's a sitcom actor, and he looks like a sitcom actor and acts like a sitcom actor. And then there's Awkwafina, who plays Awkwafina. And they're like buddies. I could never buy them as boyfriend and girlfriend. Never. And they are valets, and they're kind of losers to their families anyway. And I can't remember the hotel that they work at. I know where it is. I know it's on the top of a hill. But it's hoity-toity, so it's no place I ever went to. They did actually shoot some scenes in San Francisco. I was pretty shocked about that. And yeah, they're just kind of breezing through life. But Sean, as he's named, has a secret. He has a secret. He's got a bad dad. And his bad dad is 1,000 years old. And he is not Fu Manchu. He is not the Mandarin. He's, what was it? Wu Wing? I can't remember the name now. Wu Wing? I just called him Mandarin. It's fine. And I thought that they would do something with this character, with the 10 rings. They really kind of set things up in Iron Man. And then, of course, the Iron Man 3 thing happened that pissed everybody off, including me. And they start to build, they give us a little background, a little history. Looks kind of cool. And then he spends the rest of the movie crying. And, it's just, it's a waste of Tony Leung, if that's how you pronounce his last name. And, Michelle Yeoh played Michelle Yeoh. At least she was much better. She's just better playing like a stoic person than whatever the fuck she plays in Star Trek Discovery, which is just god awful. But where the film falls apart is the lead, is Simu Liu. He has, I was talking with Az about it yesterday. He is a singularity of charisma suck. Like, he takes other people's charisma away from them. This is supposed to be your lead, your badass, the master of Kung Fu, a character based on Bruce Lee. And yeah, I wanted to see him kick ass. I wanted to see a lot of Kung Fu. There was Kung Fu in it. There were like little moments that were pretty badass. Wong and the Abomination, that was pretty badass. But the first part of the movie is just getting to know them, and then it gets to the bus chase. That is like 6 minutes going downhill. Now, hills are pretty steep in San Francisco, but it usually only takes you about a minute to get down a hill, not 6. And that bus would have killed like 3,000 homeless people, and a couple of hundred pedestrians, and it wouldn't have been able to go. It must have been shot during the coup, because you can't drive around San Francisco streets unless it's like 3 a.m. like that. Trust me. Razor Fist was there. God fucking speed. Not that Razor Fist. But and they had Death Dealer and they had Razor Fist. And I thought they would do more with Death Dealer. Cool costume. Death Dealer was clearly the best martial artist on the set, whoever the guy was, whoever his stand-in was, or if he was the guy was good. But they didn't do anything with him. And oh my God, I was convinced that Death Dealer was going to take his mask off and be a girl. They got me. They got me, man. I'm like, oh, he stayed a dude the whole movie. Okay. Trying to mix it up a little bit. All right. Good for you, Marvel. I was like, oh, that's so a girl. They're taking that mask off. And that's going to be his sister or some shit. I don't know. That couldn't have been his sister. But yeah, speaking of his sister, Zayling, main character of the movie. Taught herself a superhuman form of kung fu in the shadows while Shang-Chi is being trained by the best of the best in the organization of the Ten Rings, which ended up not being that impressive. That his sister ends up taking over in the end anyway. The first time we meet Simu Liu, he's talking to another couple, and the girl from the other couple is kind of giving him shit for just being valets when all of them graduated top of their class at whatever they did, and they're wasting their lives and da-da-da-da. And they were telling an anecdotal story about racism. That's the first thing they started. Like, when I first got here, somebody thought I was Korean. And it's just like, that's how we're starting. Now, they didn't really do stuff like that for the rest of the movie. No, that was all in the marketing. The identity politics was all in the marketing. And that's like the biggest takeaway from this movie, which is at very best average, nowhere near an absolute triumph. That is just utter garbage. It's a CGI schlock fest. But the big takeaway is Disney purposefully making this the Asian superhero movie. When I went to go see it, I went to go watch a superhero movie. It was not Asian was not in my mind. I'm like, do I like these characters? Do I identify with them on a human level? And the answer was no. Was it because of their culture? No, it was because the writing sucked. But they purposefully market these films this way. So if you criticize them, then they can roll out with the racism. And we're years into this now. The funniest thing is, I don't know if it's going to be released in China. It doesn't look like it is. We'll see. And I don't know if it'll do well there because they really lean into their culture. And I don't know how it's going to look to them. It's probably going to look like a bunch of Americans trying to pander to them. That's what it's probably going to look like. And there's a way that can look really, really bad. Very bad. So, like Black Widow, and this is arguable, Black Widow starts out actually not that great. This film starts out a little better. None of the humor landed with me. The crowd in my theater was very similar to Black Widow. They chuckled a couple of times. There was about 50, 60 people in the theater, in this massive theater. A couple people clapped at the end. They clapped for, seeing Hulk. Nobody clapped for Brie Larson and her bad wig. But it's hard to tell. Now, if you go see these movies in like Burbank, that's like hometown. They'll sell out. They'll sell out. You'll get raucous crowds because I mean that's where they make them. As a matter of fact, I drove right by Disney last weekend, and I did flip them off. I did. It was petty, but I did it anyway. Nobody saw it. I got off the Hollywood Freeway, 134. Got on to Disney Way, headed towards Hollywood Way. Well, I was actually going to Magnolia, but then I ended up on Hollywood Way. Passed by Disney, gave him the bird, went to a toy store, was supposed to go somewhere else, didn't. I saw the Warner Brothers lot. I saw the water tower. I should have given them the bird too, but I just questioned why they couldn't do something with Superman. So the film's worst offenses are, again, it's like Disney is apologetic when they put in a male character and they feel like they need to like overbalance it and focus on these side characters that are nothing. I mean, if they're compelling side characters, fine, but they're not. They feel obligatory because they are obligatory. They are obligatory. And you have your hero riding in the back seat, riding passenger, being nervous, getting his first fight. He gets his ass kicked by his sister and kicked in the balls. And it's all done for humor. And it's all done to reduce the masculinity in what should be the most fucking masculine thing. And yeah, I don't think this will play well in China either. Because when you go to see a street level superhero who has no superpowers, he's just the best at kung fu, you expect to see some pretty hardcore violence, or at least some artistic fun violence, which what kung fu movies can be, right? I am not a kung fu movie expert. I like them. They're all right, you know. But we ended up just ridiculous situations. And the most ridiculous thing is a 16-year-old girl starting her own fight club after teaching herself a superhuman form of karate. It's so I just started laughing. And the worst part was Awkwafina. I don't know why the fuck she's there. So there's a big fight. The Mandarin has been watching Shang-Chi and his sister the whole time, and he just decided when Shang-Chi, when they attacked him on the bus, he's all, I got to go save my sister. So they jump on a plane, they go to China, and they find this building, and halfway up the building, there's this like massive multi-story nightclub, fight club, fucking multi-million-dollar operation. The Abomination is fighting Wong. And it's all put on by his sister, who ran away with no money but knew superhuman karate, and she could probably karate or kung fu. Not karate, kung fu. She could kung fu ATM machines or the bank. I don't know how she got money to do that, but she did it. So they get raided, and there's a big fight on the scaffolding, which I'm sure you saw in the trailer. And Awkwafina gets in trouble, so she's hanging on to a pole. The pole's like bending, and she's about to fall to her death, and Shang-Chi is running to save her. I'm like, oh, he is so not saving her. There is no way a dude is saving a damsel in distress in a superhero movie of modern day, and sure as hell, Shang-Chi's sister saves her. And Shang-Chi falls down in his own movie. I don't write this stuff. I want to enjoy this stuff. It's just impossible. It's just impossible. Maybe they'll learn, will they pull this kind of crap with Spider-Man? That's the question. That is the question. I would argue that they already have, but some might disagree. The strength of the Marvel brand, it's blinding. It's blinding. MG for $5 says, hey, Gary, ever watch the channel Thinking Critical? He's more comic book focused, but brings similar issues about entertainment up for discussion. Think he'd make a great FNT guest. Shang-Chi, 6 out of 10 at best. I gave it a 3 if I score anything. Can't wait for King Spawn review on the real BBC. I can't wait either. I got to read it. But I have till tomorrow. Might get interrupted in about an hour or so when the air conditioning repairman gets here. He was kind of told what to do, so I don't know if he needs to, but it might happen. Just be forewarned. Thank you, MG, for the $5. And I have heard of Thinking Critical. I have. And yeah, we're always open to new guests. Are you thoroughly approved by the Comics Court Authority? If then they have managed to get a little cooler. Oh, well, thank you, Tracy Wilborn. I appreciate that. I am probably not fully approved by any authority, although, I mean, YouTube seems to be okay. They demonetized my Nooner from a couple of days. It's no big deal. Whatever. It's unlisted now, so it doesn't make a difference. But that was just weird. I wonder if I dropped too many F-bombs. I might have dropped too many F-bombs. That happens. Oh, yes. How could I forget? Amazon did a couple of things over the week. By the way, real quick, and we'll get back to Shang-Chi. I'll be kind of going through it the entire live stream. Because of the success, Venom's being moved up a week, and you bet they are just scrambling to try to move the movies up because of the inevitable. I don't think anybody has any doubt that there's either going to be mandates or lockdowns. One of the two things are going to happen sooner than later. Sucks. Wish it wasn't going to happen. And hey, you might be in a state where it won't happen, and bless your heart. Hopefully I can be there soon. But says Gray Ghost for $5 says, hey, holy fook. The Amazon Prime exclusive Cinderella is the most intersectional feminist movie or show I've ever seen in recent years. It made Captain Marvel look like a practice in male gaze. I'd pay you $50 to rip it apart in a video. It was that bad. I tried to watch 12 minutes of it, and it was the singing is terrible. It's like they forgot to hit the auto-tune a couple of times. Somebody put a clip up, and then I put a clip up. It was bad. Oh. But Amazon also put up a tweet that was the most creatively bankrupt tweet of all time. So we're gonna look at that real quick, like. All right, and I have a response to this tweet, and I can't believe nobody has used this response. Probably because it's a little. Oh, there's Cinderella. I'm still looking for it. There's that. There it is. Oh, whoops. It must be Monday. Hang on. Let's get the chat going there. And then we'll get our article going. Is it 3 or 4? I never can remember. Make sure my messages are down. It is 3. There we go. Boom. All right. So, what movie do you want to see an all-female reboot of? And I just called them out for being creatively bankrupt, and a reminder that Lord of the Rings on Prime is going to be female-centric. It is going to be a female-centric TV show. It is going to be an intersectional feminist Lord of the Rings. That's what it's going to be. And I tried to warn everyone. The answers are pretty good. But I'm going to say it right now. Not one person with Birth of a Nation. Not one of you. It's a Gundam. Not a single person. Little disappointed. I think somebody did say Philadelphia. Platoon. Saving Private Ryan. Apocalypse Now. You know, just... Oh, but there's George. George. He says none. He does the same way. I don't want an all-male reboot of Charlie's Angels or La Femme Nikita. In the same way, I want you, Prime Video schmucks, to focus on story, character, and the hero's journey. George's rules for life. Rule number 71: get back to basics. They don't know what the fucking basics were. They can't get back, George, to something they have no concept of, unfortunately. There's our buddy Az. There's Father Christopher Women. Christopher Miller. Why did I say women? There's me. Magic Mike. There's Gundam. The story of Jeff Bezos starring Kathleen Turner. If Kathleen Turner shaved her head, would she look like Jeff Bezos? I think she would. Gundam. But not a single person with Birth of a Nation. With lesbians. Hot lesbians. The exact same costumes. Yeah, it didn't go down well. It didn't go down well. And this is the studio in charge of fucking Lord of the Rings. I can't say I didn't warn you. And we're going to find out next year. They also... Let's see if I can get away with playing a little bit of this, because I, you know what? I want your ears to bleed just like mine did. Oh my God, there's that horrible video of that woman getting beaten in the mall. It's terrible. All right, so here we go. You guys ready? That's not loud enough. Hang on. There we go. I'm gonna be the sun. I just can't afford to be wrong. Even when I'm afraid, you're gonna know my name. Oh! God. It's like listening to Grace Randolph having sex. Just kidding. Grace is fine. I don't mean to pick on her. I got no problem with her. Here's some more. Sleep is gonna wake up and sing. Ah! Oh, Jesus. Yeah. So this is the Cinderella where that guy is the fairy godmother. So, listen, I've never seen Cinderella all the way through any version of it, like ever, because I'm a man. I have testosterone raging through my body, so I'm not going to watch a Disney animated film. Now, My parents never took me to it when I was a kid. Now, a lot of people saw it when they're kids. I know there's Disney fan. That's fine. If you're an animation fan, the animation was probably great. But I never was. The one Disney movie I did see when I was a kid was Robin Hood. I liked Robin Hood. But no, haven't seen Cinderella. I am aware of the story. It's not my bag, baby. I don't know what you say to this. It's we are devolving, or television is, Hollywood is. Even when there has been, in the very recent past, like garbage or intersectional feminist garbage or woke garbage, there's always been a couple good things out there. Like, yes. And I mean, there's Primal. Primal's very good. There's Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai is very good. By all accounts, Ghostbusters looks like it is following the Cobra Kai model, and it's just going to be a love letter. And apparently the kids don't annoy the hell out of you, and they fit well in the movie, and that is great. I can't wait to see Ghostbusters. I'm actually looking forward to that movie. I move that one up. Move that one up to next week. Although I'm going to say, if they move Venom up, I'll watch Venom. Let There Be Carnage. It's probably going to be cheesy as hell, and I'll probably end up liking it. But yeah. See, the problem, what we have here is a failure to write. A failure to write compelling characters, and right now they are just, I mean, we have Amazon Studios tweeting out, hey, what do you want to see a all-female reboot of? I mean, and that was probably a serious tweet. They probably are mining the crowd on Twitter for ideas for their multi-billion-dollar studio. Why don't you adapt a book properly? I feel bad for the Wheel of Time fans who have been waiting so long, and then you get that picture, and it looks like, I don't know what it looks like. It looks like a bad sci-fi movie. I don't know how Dune's going to turn out. Apparently, it's great except for the white guy in it, according to GameSpot. I want to see that too. That should be visually stunning. But it better have a good story. So yeah, here we go. Here's if we go here. That was the last show for Shang-Chi on yesterday. So this was the 7:00 show yesterday for the absolute triumph. Totally stunning. First Asian superhero in the history of history, Shang-Chi. 50. So these two tickets right here that you see right here, those are always sold, okay? So we don't count those. I counted, I think, 50. 50, 51. By the way, my favorite spot to sit in the theater is like right here. It's usually me and the fam. Easy exit, you know, just in case somebody needs to pee. And yeah, the tickets are fucking expensive. And I don't know if I doubt I hurt Disney by buying tickets to Free Guy, but I bought tickets to Free Guy. But I didn't help Shang-Chi. That was the whole point. I'm gonna wake up and sing. I might actually sing better than her. I sing better than her. No, not probably not. I'm not even gonna say that. That's nowhere near true. Nowhere near true. How freaking good is Perry Chan? That dude knocked that thing out so fast, and I'm not easy to edit. That's why I'm very slow. That opens up so many opportunities to get more done, to get more work done, that I am so fucking excited that I can get out some more content. He's got some more dailies coming up. He's ramping up the dailies again. Perry took a month off to relax a little bit. He'd been busting it at his job and, working for me and doing other side projects. So he's back. He's refreshed and he's doing great. He's off Twitter, which is his choice, not mine. But I think that's wise. I think for a content creator, Twitter can really be horrible for you. It's not even that great for content. I rarely, if ever, make a video about something that happened on Twitter. I'll refer to it a couple of times, but nah, I'd rather, I don't know. Twitter's a whole different beast. And collectively, I think it's pretty sheetarded. So I tend not to try to get my content from Twitter. I like interacting with y'all, though. Most of you are perfectly lovely. There's a couple people out there who aren't happy with me, but I think I'm doing my job right. If I think I'm doing my job right if I'm pissing off a few people, especially creatives. Hey, so this super chat came in very late on the last live stream. So, or did we get this one? Oh, I don't think we missed. Okay, so I'm going to read it. So it's from Friday Night Tights. It's from Mo Money Mama. It's on the donation side, so it's $50. Thank you, Mo Money Mama. It said, we watch Friday Night Tights every week with our family. Thank you for making Friday night something to look forward to after dealing with the insanity and constant judgment against the unjabbed. By the way, love Gothix. Gothix is great. She did a great job. Clifton is great. He was lit and great. We love them both. Glad to hear her on FNT. Thanks for keeping it real. We do our very best. And thank you for the $50. You're wonderful. Yeah, that was a fun show. That was a fun show last week. And we've got, we've got big plans. If they all come to fruition, well, we'll see. But we're working on something. Got to make a couple phone calls and hopefully make the announcement as soon as possible. I don't want to hype it up too much because I want to make sure it happens first. So right now it's in the, it could happen, but we're not sure. So yeah, that I don't know if anybody suffered through Cinderella. I know Father Christopher Miller watched a bit of it and then stopped. I made it through 12 minutes. And yeah, it's the only thing really that I like after I was done watching it, I wanted to go pick out drapes and shop at IKEA. An all-female 12 Angry Men or The Longest Day, says Larry for $2. Hey, I think World War III. I think World War III could be female-led. It could be all-female for all countries. And the guys can just take this one off. Okay? Sound good? Shark dentures for $2. Sex with GR. So, sex with... So, is it in yet? We give Grace a hard time, but I have no problem with her. I mean, I don't agree with her on a lot of movies, and she gets a little caught up. Okay, she gets a lot caught up in her intersectional feminism, Manhattan, New York ways. But hey, gotta respect what she's done on her channel. Okay, gotta. The Grizzly for $10. Apparently, the girl that they made up for in Dune 2021 is a real main focus. That's why GameSpot loves it. All I wanted was a proper adaptation of Frank Herbert's work. God, life is cruel. I thought, okay, now I have started Dune like 100 times and never been able to get through it. Apologies to Dune fans. Like, I haven't really given it a good go as an adult. I tried as a kid, and it just never really grabbed me. It just took too long to get going. I thought, like, Zendaya's character, they gender swapped that character, and then they focus it on Zendaya's character. I didn't know they made up a character, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they focus on Zendaya's character. But it's up to the Dune folks. I mean, if you obviously are one, Grizzly, like if you say that's bad, then I will just have to judge. I'm going to try to read the book before the movie comes out. I don't think that's going to be possible, but I'll try to get through it as much as I can. It ain't no Tolkien. Sorry. It's not. Elliot Davies for 5 Canadian pesos. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate the donation. Nothing to say there. Yeah, the discrimination against the unjabbed is it's getting very, 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 very well. It's been concerning for a long time, and that is perpetuated by our fearless leaders, or our fearful leaders. But that's what's. I mean, that is affecting the box office. That without a doubt. There are people here. I know it's a different world here. When I was in Texas, things were, it felt like normal life. It just felt like normal life. I come back here. Actually, when we were driving away from Texas and we entered New Mexico, it felt like entering a different country. So Texas was alive and vibrant, and New Mexico at the time was still mostly locked down when we drove through there. And it just looked empty, sad, oppressed. And it's affecting people's moods, especially here in California. And it's all fear-based. It's all fear-based. And I'm nowhere saying that this thing doesn't exist. Of course it exists. It's happening. I've known people it's happened to. We saw Joe Rogan trigger the entire internet over last week, which was brilliant. He got it. He took some stuff. I can't remember the stuff he took, and I'm not going to say it here anyway. And he got better. Now, does it probably have something to do with Joe Rogan being like in very good shape? Yes, I would say that is probably, just in my uninformed opinion, probably the biggest factor was Joe Rogan's in shape. Works out regularly, lifts weights regularly. That probably had a lot to do with it, in my completely stupid, uninformed opinion. But I didn't think this was real. Jeremy showed it to me, and it's real. When CNN showed the footage of Joe Rogan, they messed with the color a bit to make him look more gray and sick. But if you look at the real video, he looks fine. And it's like we just accept this shit now. Like that would be such a controversy, something like that, a decade ago. Now it's like, yep, that's the media. I guess the good thing is most people know they're full of shit. The bad news is there's still people who take that as gospel. Anti-derivative jail for $5. Amazon cannot corrupt Tolkien. I'm waiting until it's released to judge, but their work is shaping up to be nothing but trashy wannabe Game of Thrones scam. Yeah, hey, anti-derivative Jill, we're in the same boat. I would, this is what I want. I am telling you guys exactly what I want. I want a great Lord of the Rings show. That would be the best thing to happen to this channel. Would for Amazon to make a great Lord of the Rings show that I could review every episode live after it airs and then cut a video and go in depth and do a reaction 2 days later and do that for, 10 weeks or 8 weeks or whatever. And yeah, after every episode, we can meet right here and discuss it and love it and the ins and outs and what's going to happen here. Normal shit. That's what I want. I don't want it to be bad. And it would be better for the channel if it were good. It would be better for my channel. It'd be better for Amazon Prime. It'd be better for fucking YouTube if it was good. Now, the problem is we have a certain sect of content creators out there wanting us to say stuff is good when it's not. To back up whatever disingenuous argument they have. Here's the funny thing. You notice, I don't tell other YouTubers what to do with their channel. I'm not here to do that. If you want to enjoy something and like it, go for it. If you want to call Shang-Chi an absolute triumph, do it all day. It's no skin off my back at all. But there's a big but. Say you're going on your channel and you're overpraising something. You watched a movie and deep down in your heart, it was a 6 out of 10, a 5 out of 10. To me, it's a 3, but to them, 5, 6, then. But we're like, well, I don't want to create a controversy. I don't want people to be mad here. Which way is the wind blowing? Absolute triumph. People figure that out after a while. Here's a promise. I don't need to see movies early. I'll just see them with you guys. I've had a couple of offers to see things early. But I don't need to. And I'm, if I get a chance to see Ghostbusters a month early and then I can talk about it, I'm allowed to talk about it, sure. Or the Batman and I'm allowed to talk about it, but seeing something early and not being allowed to talk about it, what's the point? What's the point? I'll just wait, see it with you guys. It's cool. I don't need to be the first. Thank you, anti-derivative Jill. Super Nate, you're paying my ear. Super Nate for $2 says, you're paying for my ear aids. Okay, I will, Super Nate. I'll cover that. It's contagious. Mikey Gussler for $5. Hey, Gary, X-Men came out in 2000, but it was shot in the 90s. Was it 2000? Okay, I thought it was 99. You're right. So it's not a 90s movie. Well, unless we want to count 2000, but if we count 2000, because he says you can still count it because it's the year 2000. Also, did you see my reply to your email? I have not. But I will check it out. And thanks for the email. So we either have to count 1990 as the 90s or 2000s. I guess it's up to you. Whatever you want to do. Because I think The Rocketeer came out in 90, right? Rocketeer's a damn good movie. I love The Rocketeer, and they're going to fuck that up too. They are going to fuck that up too. X-Men, the first one's not that great of a movie. It wasn't terrible. I thought it was going to be utter shit. And when I saw it, I was really surprised that it wasn't. But you know, it was early on in the evolution of superhero films. And now we're devolving. Now we are devolving into just utter garbage. I watched Guardians of the Galaxy twice over the weekend, and that's an absolute triumph. That is a great film. That is a film, to me, that can do no wrong. It's fun. It's got heart. The effects are better than Shang-Chi's, by the way, and Black Widow's combined. It's paced perfectly. And the most important thing, compelling characters. Because here's the plot. Kid gets abducted by Ravengers. Flash to modern age. He's brought up by these criminals, but he's still kind of a good kid. He gets caught stealing something he didn't know much about, finds out it's an Infinity Stone, and along the way, he meets his ragtag group because of the bounty on his head. We meet Rocket and Groot and Gamora, and eventually Drax. And then after they see, they get to prison, they break out of prison, and after they see what the Infinity Stone does, they all like, all right, hey, we're bad guys, but we're not this bad. It's a pretty basic plot, and it's fucking great. I could watch it again tonight. The one thing it has is it's got beautiful shots. There is a ton of beautiful shots. However you feel about Gunn, in this particular movie, I mean, he just fucking got lightning in a bottle. As far as the two best Marvel films, to me, it's a 1A, 1B situation with Captain America, Winter Soldier, but that's more of a kick-ass, like, serious one, and Guardians is more fun. So I can't say one's really better than the other. They're both fucking great. I love Iron Man. I love First Avenger. And this is not the same Marvel anymore. The quality it's not even close. And I have never, and I mean ever, seen when you have a creative entity producing a creative work collectively, like a rock band or a franchise or a creative team on a comic. They have only so much creativity in them, and the run only lasts so long. And you peak, and then it's law of diminishing returns. And rarely, if ever, does that aging rock band or that aging franchise or that aging comic book creative team reach the heights of their peak again. I'm sure there's a couple of examples of that happening. But you can't fight the law of diminishing returns. And what made, Marvel didn't need to be here. Again, there was a time where Marvel, not too long ago, could release a movie in the middle of February on a Wednesday and make $1 billion. Captain Marvel made $1 billion. Hell, Shang-Chi just made 90. But we're on the way down here. Talk to me in 2 years. See, time will tell on all of this. Marvel has only recently gone bad in the last couple of years, but it's sinking fast. I was discussing the fellow feller for $4.99 says, "Hey Gary, all my friends love Shang-Chi and thought it was a triumph. Any advice on how to talk to friends who are completely brainwashed?" Try to be honest with them. I mean, that's the best thing you can do. Here's the deal. The vast majority of this is people wanting to be a part of something, is FOMO, right? Marvel's the thing. So we need to like the thing because everybody likes the thing. And if we like the thing, then we can all be part of the thing. Human nature. It's fine. I've done it. Everybody's done it. Everybody's been a part of that. But as I've gotten older, for example, with the sports ball, right? I was a big Chargers fan. And there's Chargers fans who used to love everything they did. Even when they lost, it wasn't the Chargers' fault. it was the ref or whatever. I was one of those fans. No, I'd be just as hard on my team as a opposing fan when they fucked up. And that's what's going on here is like, this is a thing I've loved forever, and it's just not that thing anymore. And it won't ever be under Disney, by the way. And if you sat down with your friends, it depends on, like, are they really your friends or not? If they're really your friends, then they'll sit down and have a conversation with you, and you can go over all right, well, what makes you love this movie? What was great about it? Was it when Shang-Chi rode the dragon? Was it when Shang-Chi got his ass kicked by his sister? Was that funny? Was it when Aquafina made the Gina joke? Was it the 6-minute bus ride that was CGI Kung Fu? Was it Shang-Chi's sister teaching herself a superhuman form of Kung Fu? I mean, just have a conversation with them. And they're probably like, here's the answer. I just wanted to turn my brain off and watch an action movie. I'm like, all right, okay. We've all turned our brain off to watch an action movie. But here's the difference. I can't turn my brain off when there isn't a character, a single compelling character, to distract me from a horrific plot. Because that's what matters most to me. And great characters, great dialogue, great interaction, especially this is a character-driven film. Not a plot-driven film, character-driven film. And when your characters are boring and not compelling, then you start looking at the background. Then you start like, oh, this bus ride's really long, you know? I was talking to some YouTubers last night. We had a pretty good stream by ourselves. Sorry you missed it. And we were discussing it in length, and it's not as bad as Black Widow, but it ain't good. It ain't good. You just say to your friends, we agree to disagree. That's probably the best thing to do. But then your friend, you know what? Buy your friend Shang-Chi on the 4K Blu-ray, and then go back to his house, get it for him for Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever, and then go back to his house 6 months later, and you will see the plastic will still be around that fucking Blu-ray. They will not have watched it. But we were thinking of names for it, you know, Shi-Chi, Shang-Shit. That was Mahler's favorite, Shang-Shit. Simple, elegant. The thing is, we already have great examples of great movies. So should Shang-Chi have been more like Ant-Man or more like Captain America Winter Soldier? Because it was more like Ant-Man. But Marvel's biggest problem, any form of masculinity is considered toxic masculinity. Superheroes are fucking masculine. Superhero women are fucking sexy. That's what the whole thing was built on. And that's why a lot of men and women liked it. Of all people, Comic Book Girl 19, which I don't agree on with her on a bunch of, and I honestly hadn't subscribed to her in a long time. I liked her Loki review, but she still does things like retweets fucking Renfamous. So it's like, nah. But she made the point, like, yeah, you know, the no fun Marvel mommies, all the women are stoic and boring. And yeah, that's what heroes are, the modern mythology. And that's what I'm looking for. And yeah, I don't have the highest standards in the world. That's the thing. There's other people out there with much higher standards than I do. I loved The Suicide Squad. Yesterday was the last day you could see it on HBO Max. It's now gone. And I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy it on 4K Blu-ray. Hell yeah. All over it. Or either today or yesterday is the last day. Mikey can correct me if I'm wrong on that one. I saw James Gunn tweet out yesterday like today was the last day, but yeah. It doesn't make sense to like pull it on fucking like Labor Day. See, now I'm going to have to check. Let's check live. Hang on just a second. While it's loading up. The doctor says, used to be a fan of Campia, but can't believe how shilled he was for this movie. Yikes. I don't want to speak for Campia, and I know like we share subs, and is it because, I mean, do people get excited because they're together at an early screening and they got their little gift bag and their free lunch? I mean, just the fact that they're there. Forget the early and everything. It might be somebody's first early screening. Yes, that is going to play into how much you enjoy the movie. You're part of the experience. It's exciting to be asked by a movie, by a company to go watch a film early. You feel special. You feel like, oh my God, I might get in the club, which you're never getting in the fucking club. They're just using you. Does that have something to do with it? Yes. But the biggest part is the wanting to maintain their access. Yeah, the Suicide Squad, I believe, is gone. Wow, that was dumb. Why'd you get rid of it today? Yeah, it's gone. Suicide Squad is gone off of HBO Max. Yeah, there was a time where, Siskel and Ebert and all those guys would get stuff early and rip it to shreds because they had a lot of influence, but no critics have any actual influence or sway. I just don't think a lot of people are listening to Campia or whatever website. There's 1,000 of them out there right now. And it really swaying their opinion. I think people are going to go to a Marvel movie because it's a Marvel movie. Difference being, for example, like, when the Suicide Squad comes out, I liked it. I'll tell you, I like it. I liked it. When the Snyder Cut came out, is it the greatest achievement in filmmaking? No, but I liked it. I saw it as an Elseworlds DC story, and it was fun. And I think, Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill are great, Batman and Superman respectively. I would love to see them in films with different filmmakers taking a crack at it. I don't know what filmmakers right now. I don't have a ton of faith in filmmakers right now. Maybe Matthew Vaughn. I like Matthew Vaughn. But yeah, the critic is I think that is a 20th century model. It's a dinosaur and it's dead. We're just going to go to each other. We're going to go to each other, and occasionally we're going to disagree. Like Mikey knows. I say, hey, Mahler is awesome until he comes after something you love. Which is a rare occasion. I mean, he and I disagree on a couple of things. So what? So what? The vast majority of things we agree on, and I think, the Critical Drinker and Mahler and Fringy and Rags, I think they all have pretty good taste, right? Now, I don't. What I try to do is this is what I think of Shang-Chi. Do I think my word is gospel? No. But at least I try to tell you why I don't like it and not just go, it's shit, and say it's shit over and over again. I want to tell you why it's shit. And yeah, when a male character is undercut by the female side characters and it's done in an obligatory fashion, and on top of that, those side female characters are just nothings. They don't add anything to the movie. They're just there to be awesome. And that does what? Exactly. That's the kind of stuff we evolved from. See, that's like the 1950s writing where, the cowboy comes into town and always succeeds. That was entertaining back then, but we've evolved from the Gary Sues and the Mary Sues. Except we've devolved back to it because Hollywood treated women like shit for decades, and they're trying to monetize their apology. And they're also scared to death. Oh, and they also have, they have rules now. There is rules for writing. There are things you cannot write in Hollywood anymore. You cannot write a damsel in distress. You will not see that in any superhero or anything. And it's like, why the fuck not? Women get in trouble. Sometimes they need to be saved. So do dudes. But they're never going to show it again. You're not going to see, we're not going to see a Superman movie. They can't even figure out a Superman movie. Lois and Clark, the show figured it out. But the movie, we're going to get not one, but two black Superman. That's going to have a bunch of media hype, probably a really good opening weekend, and then it will be forgotten. But I guess that's all it takes now. Hey, Gary, I'm at the point where I no longer have FOMO with the MCU films when 2 years ago I was dodging spoilers like they were death. For shame, says Chicago Box for $4.99. Yeah, marked on my calendar. Marvel film. Yes. Dude, I made this point on Friday Night Tights. I'll do it again. I want you to try. This is a thought experiment. Try to clear your head of all the identity politics. Pretend it never existed. Pretend Hollywood was just the normal, leftist Hollywood that they've always been, but not this woke, intersectional, communist Hollywood that they are now. And try to think back to 2014. It's 2014. You just saw Guardians of the Galaxy, Winter Soldier, because those both came out in the same year. And you're told that in 2021, we're going to get a Falcon and Winter Soldier series, a Scarlet Witch and Vision series, a Loki series, a What If series, a Hawkeye series, a Black Widow movie, a Master of Kung Fu movie, a Jack Kirby, The Eternals movie, and a Spider-Man movie with fucking Spider-Man 2 characters in it. All in the same year. You would have geek wood for over 4 hours. You'd have to call your doctor. It would just be, what? Oh my God, that is the fucking greatest thing ever. Look where it's at now. Look where it's at now. And everybody knows it. Now it's, well, we had the best Labor Day weekend. It shattered all kinds of records by beating some really shitty movies, including Rob Zombie's Halloween. It would be like one of you going to the schoolyard and just pummeling a 6-year-old or a 6th grader. and stealing his lunch. That's exactly what Marvel did over the weekend. Except they didn't really pummel them that much. But Odin, our good friend Odin from OMB Reviews, did a great video on this, breaking it all down, showing what all the totals were after you adjust for inflation. And John Trent wrote an article in Bounding Into Comics that we covered last nooner. And the fact remains that Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, on its first 3 days, was either the worst or the second worst opening for a Marvel film in the MCU's history or herstory. And today don't matter, because next weekend there's no holiday, and as it stands right now, here in SoCal, kids are back in school. Now, what if Shang-Chi would it have done better in a COVID-free world? Sure. And if my aunt had nuts, she'd be my uncle. Doesn't matter. I think more people just chose to do things where they can interact. There was a lot of traveling. Like I said before, the concerts were filled. The football games were packed. That was so fucking brilliant to see. I love seeing that. People not living in fear. Again, that thing is out there. I know it's out there. But sitting at home all the time in fear, I mean, that's no life. You need to get out. You need to interact. You're a human being. We need to do these things. Shit, without the live streams, I'd have gone nuts. Thank you, guys. Hail, Gary, just scored the Longbows series. Hope I like it as much as Watchmen and Dark Knight Returns. Thank you for the recommendation. Says the Last Airman for $4.99. You're welcome. Is it as good as the Longbow Hunters is good. I don't know if it's not as good as Dark Knight Returns or Watchmen, but it's good. And we're going to talk about it tomorrow on the Real BBC. And I do believe Mahler procured himself one as well. Rough Girl, what's up? For $4.99. Took Daddy Rough to see Shang-Chi. Middle way, he looks over and says, "Is this how I raised you? Is this what you're into? The movie shamed me." Oh, no. Oh. I thought I raised you better than this. Watch Kung Pao instead. Wimp Lo has more charisma since Insanity Methods. Kung Pao, oh, the panda one with Jack Black? Yeah. Watch The Crow instead. Watch The Crow instead. They really wasted Sir Ben Kingsley. He didn't really do much for the movie. No, he didn't, Mike Hill, for $5. And yeah, you get Ben Kingsley in there, and he just plays Trevor Slattery again, who just so happens to have a headless, furry ball thing with wings that just so happens to know the location of Tai Lo or Lao or whatever the hell it's called. And you could drive a car there from wherever they were. They just got in the car and drove there without a road I think it was like a Subaru or something like that. It's not like it was a 4x4. And they went through the moving forest and they found it pretty easily because of the headless thing was giving Trevor Slattery directions while Marvel's Katie drove while Shang-Chi was in the back seat with his sister. Absolute triumph? I'm sorry. Absolute triumph? The MCU should have ended after Endgame. Mike Hale for $5. I mean, essentially it did. It ended when Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans walked away. Marvel and DC are held together and they are propped up by just a few characters. Yes, they have thousands of characters, but they make all the money. I mean, DC makes all its money from Batman, Harley Quinn, Superman, Wonder Woman. And then, after that, it's Green Arrow, Flash. Throw in a character here or there. With Marvel, it used to be Spider-Man and the X-Men. Then Hulk. And then Iron Man and Captain America, but they were kind of like B-list, C-list. Marvel inexplicably made fucking Captain America as big as Superman and Iron Man as big as Batman. They did it. They actually did it. And then they fucked it up. But they fucked up Spider-Man and X-Men on the way because of rights issues. And they de-emphasized them in the comic books. And they ended up taking two of the best-selling, most consistent comic books and vandalizing them, basically. I mean, they still sell, but not like they used to. And then we get a King Spawn. Out of nowhere, we get a King Spawn that sells 500,000 copies. Now, yes, McFarlane cheated. He used a bunch of variants and a bunch of hype, but that's how you sell comic books, man. And the most important thing is we're going to get the book semi-consistently. I was talking last night. Jack Kirby used to pump out multiple books on time on a monthly basis. And we can't get that anymore. The art's gotten much better, but much slower. And, I don't mind waiting bi-monthly for a book. I don't think that's too bad for a quality book. But, like the Ultimates, that was the ultimate frustration. That's what it was. That book took 3 years to come out, 8 issues, 3 years, something like that. It was ridiculous. Question of Trek for £4.99. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Cheers. Question of Trek. Scott Vakra for £5 says, the best bit of Batman forever? Holy rusted metal Batman. Oh, I tried to forget that. I did see that movie in Hawaii. That was probably the best part of it. Gene the Machine for $5 says, I'm calling this. Marvel's Katie will be the next Hawkeye after seeing her being an extraordinary archer after one day of training. Yeah. Except Kate Bishop is coming, but yeah. One day of training. She doesn't look like she could run or lift anything. And she's a superhero now. It's just silly. It's just, and then, wow, Marvel's Katie. That's what you came up with, Marvel. The Crow was my first ever comic, and the film has a massive place in my heart. Definitely read the Crow, Carrera, Gary, Hale, Gary, Nerdrotic, and chat. Insanity Methods. Thank you for the £5. Hell yes. And Carrera. Maybe I have read Carrera. I don't know. I have the first appearance of the Crow. And it will always have a near and dear place to my heart. Yeah, that I watched that movie 10 times in the theater. I fucking loved it. Great soundtrack too. Uncle Joe brought me an 85. Oh, Uncle Joe bought me an 85-inch 4K television and home theater system. Why do I even need to go to a theater again? I could charge my kids $12 for popcorn, says Digitalis for $5. Uncle Joe as in Joe Biden? I got a projector. I love the projector. I'll never go back. I got it out of necessity, and now it's like, oh, it's wonderful. Super Nail Comics for 2 Canadian pesos says, hi, Gary. Hello. How you doing? Spirian for $10. No, nothing to say, but thank you. I appreciate it. Robert Cherry says, greetings from Texas. Oh, I can't wait to get there, dude. Thank you for the $9.99. I cannot wait to get there. Yeah. Things aren't moving right now in Cali. There's not much I can do. It's frustrating, but there's not much I can do. We'll see. I haven't checked in. I probably should. if I heard from my realtor. Nope. Nope, 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 and nope. I'll call her later. Who knows? Who knows? It's out of my hands. Out of my hands. First super chat. I'll be gentle. Gary, you finally motivated me to start making videos. Getting my sea legs. Hope to get better at this. Hail Friday Night Tights. Hail the fellowship. Ah. How do I pronounce this? Anonymous? Anonymous. Oh, Anonymous. I get it. All right. Good. It takes a while. You just start and you go. And you live with the comments or nobody watching, and that's good because that's good for practice. And as long as you stick with the hobby, like I said, I took it seriously as a hobby just because it was fun. And it's still fun. I love it. I worked 16 hours yesterday, and it wasn't even work. I was totally cool. And you didn't even see a half of it. We do have a square up from FNT Vegas that I just popped up last night in the middle of the night. Of course, my review of Shang-Chi is on this channel that you can check out if you haven't. It's in the new release section. There will be another video soon. We got dailies coming out tomorrow, and I'm working on a bunch of stuff behind the scenes. And, of course, I have to prep for real BBC, which means I got to read comic books. It's so hard. It's so hard. I mean, the job. Oh, that sounded bad. You can clip that probably. And that's okay. But there is knives taken off supermarket shelves in New Zealand after what? There was an attack. I can't say that word. So they're going to take knives away now too? Jesus. Oh, but back to Shang-Chi. So in the middle part, they go, and we find out, that the sister started a fight club, and we get a quick scene with the Abomination and Wong. And this is a good scene. So Wong is fighting the Abomination, and he opens up a portal right before he punches Wong in the face, and then the Abomination punches himself in the face, which was that was a cool move. Knocks himself out, and then they talk in the background, and they fix the fight. And I'm like, what? And then they both leave, and I'm like, so the Abomination's good now? Like the Abomination's a good guy now? What? Like they give us a proper Abomination. Let's have him fighting the Hulk. Oh, yeah. Did you hear about the deleted scene from Endgame? Or not, Infinity War. Hulk was going to be in the end of Infinity War. Like him and Bruce Banner were going to work it out inside the Hulkbuster, and then Hulk was going to show up and start fighting again. And they cut the scene out. They cut the fucking scene out. I don't know if I can find that or not. Let's see if I can find it. Nope. I saw it on Twitter and I can't find it again. But yeah, it's got Mark Ruffalo on green screen with his little with his Iron Man Hulkbuster, and he's just talking to himself. Now, I can't find it. That sucks. Sorry, folks. We'll just talk about it. It's ridiculous that they left that out. It sucks. It sucks what they've done to Hulk. It sucks what they've done to Thor. And it's part. And I know why they kept it out. They didn't want Hulk to come back that way. They wanted to go right to smart Birkenstock Hulk. And yeah, we're not going to see Savage Hulk again because we're going to see Savage She-Hulk. Savage She-Hulk. Oh, this could be it for Thor. And imagine going forward and your Marvel Cinematic Universe is Falcon Cap, Captain Marvel, maybe Ant-Man, Kate Bishop, Ironheart, Miss Marvel, Monica Rambeau, Scarlet Witch, maybe Doctor Strange, and my best guess is Miles Morales within the next few years. And it will be practically all of it will be all new, all different. No Peter Parker, no Tony Stark, no Steve Rogers, no Thor, diminished Bruce Banner if he's still around. I mean, he's already diminished because, Mark Ruffalo looks like Carol O'Connor. Yeah, that's not anything I want to watch. And, Warner Brothers has it right there in front of them. They could just make some kick-ass Batman and Superman movies and destroy right now. And they're like, nah, we can't figure out Superman. Wasp isn't it? I saw no Wasp. I'm like, she's an okay character. Doesn't really move the needle. Somebody put up a brilliant Wasp cosplay last night. That was fucking good. Oh, man. But the cosplay always does better. Did you hear Rosanna Arquette? Absolutely. She turned down a role in Texas because of some recent legislation. And the Texas mourns that Rosanna Arquette is not going to go and shoot a film as an aunt. She's probably some just a bit part in an indie film as an aunt. An aunt, not an actual aunt, an aunt. And Texas is mourning right now. I tweeted back at her like, yes, Alex Jones and Joe Rogan are going to retire. The Rio Grande and all the oil is going to dry up. Elon Musk is going to move back to California. Dogs and cats are living together because Rosanna Arquette turned down a role in Texas. I'm so sorry, Texas, that you lost Rosanna Arquette. Oh my God, I can't find anything except for this fucking... Oh, there's a Snow White... Or, I'm sorry, it's a Cinderella ad. Wow. People are still protesting. That's good. That's good. Oh... Oh, I'm reading The Nature of Middle Earth, and it turns out that the Eldar are much older than we thought. One Valian year of the trees, is 144 mortal years, solar years. It takes the elves 83 Valian years to get to Amon, or 11,952 years. That's from just some guy. I haven't cracked open that book yet. That sounds like I need to. Shang-Chi was boring. That was the worst part. So after they go to the fight club and they get caught by the Mandarin, and they all get taken captive, and they go to the Chinese compound. Then there's these each transition into a new part of the film. We get an exhibition dump and a flashback, generally in that order. So that's how they tell the story. They don't tell the story through the characters. It's characters go someplace, things happen, then characters are told what the audience needs to know, so next things can happen. So they're captive, and that's where they meet Trevor Slattery, who just, by the way, the Mandarin did Hail to the King is kind of part of this movie. So somebody was sent to kill Trevor Slattery, but he impressed the Mandarin so much he made him a court jester, and yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. But the Mandarin sits down and tells his whole story, and then we get the background of Mom, who was just amazing. Mom lived in Talo, which is not Kunlun. Okay, they're not the same thing, but they're both like magical lands, and she's guarding a gate where a giant soul sucker lives. They don't really give us a ton of background on that, but she falls in love with the Mandarin. It's kind of a, good girl, bad boy story. They both give up their powers to raise a family, but then Mom gets killed because the Mandarin goes out to get groceries, and one of the gangs that he fucked over or whatever comes back and kills the mom. We never find out like what the Mandarin did to piss off this gang to make him kill his mom. Doesn't matter. None of that shit matters. They don't explain anything. So when they eventually, get in after Trevor Slattery and his little furry fucking headless beast tells them where Te Lao is, the magical realm that the Mandarin couldn't find. He stays with them, by the way, and the thing just slows to a crawl, and we're fucking in this town, meeting Michelle Yao, and she's Shang-Chi's aunt, and she finishes his training while Zhe Ling goes and finishes her own. Trevor Slattery's funny and has the kids playing soccer, and Marvel's Katie shoots a bow and arrow. So now the Mandarin can find Talo, and he invades because he thinks his wife's on the other side of a gate. She's talking to him, and this beast can project an image of her to where it looks like it's real. Everybody's telling him it's crazy, but he's not listening. So he invades, and these people who have held off a giant soul-sucking demon for fucking 1,000 years can't hold off they have superpowers, by the way. They have superpowers granted to them by some dragon that's under the water. They can't hold off 30 guys who don't have guns. They have these like electrical stinger fucking stun gun things. Because yes, the 10 Rings, the deadly worldwide organization, is very anti-gun. So we have our non-lethal stingy weapons. And then they fight to a draw. And then the Mandarin lets out some of the little soul-sucking demons, and they kill fucking pretty much everybody. I do want to point out that the 10 Rings organization, while I understand that is a very diverse organization, it would have to be. It's a worldwide organization, so I get it. But ancient Chinese town guarding the gate with the ancient Chinese demon. It was very diverse. It was very diverse and inclusive. It looked like the staff at Disneyland. It did. Phoenix Tangent for $5 says, hey, Gary, spent the entire morning at the Railroad Museum in Galveston, had lunch at a restaurant along the seawall, and walked with the family along the beach. It's wide open and feels like normal. Can't wait for you to get out and experience normal life. Yeah. I mean, I can for the most part. It's just the rest of the Californians don't want to play. They're really scared. I mean, there's people with masks on with the car's windows up when they're by themselves in the car. It's that again. Brandon Anderson for $10 on the donation side. My 13-year-old son and I have seen almost every Marvel movie in the last 3 years or so. Asked him if he wanted to see Shang-Chi this weekend, and he emphatically said no. He saw Loki, Scarlet Witch, Falcon, Winter Soldier, and thinks Disney Marvel is garbage now. And you're losing the kids. I mean, they'll come around. No, I never thought this thing would crash in a day. I thought there is a possibility we could get our first Marvel flop with Shang-Chi or the Eternals, and I still think that. But it's going to be hard to gauge that because of the coof. Let's see if the Marvels happens. That would be my next guess. Because they have built-in excuses already. So in a normal world, without the coof, I think Shang-Chi and the Eternals would perform more like Ant-Man and Wasp. 500 million worldwide. And maybe that's what they get to now. But we have to, yeah, it's fall, but they have no competition at all. Well, they might if, what? No, it's 4 weeks until, 3 weeks until Venom comes out. So they have no competition. So it's not like releasing in the middle of summer is stupid. And I'm wondering when Hollywood's going to get away from that. If you have a big enough movie, people are going to fucking go. Doesn't matter if it's during summer or not. You know, it's kind of like with the streaming thing. I don't know why they release, like Netflix releases shows at 3 a.m. Disney Plus releases shows at 3 a.m. You know why we're never going to have a Game of Thrones again? Like ever? Because they release shit at 3 a.m. You need to release shit at 5 o'clock West Pacific time, 8 o'clock Eastern on a Sunday night, your tentpole show. Imagine how big the response would have been at the final episode of The Mandalorian Season 2 with Luke coming back, when 18 million people, or probably more than that, 25 million people were watching it at once. I mean, we saw what the response was already. Imagine if it was all at once. It would have been... hi, Mel. My wife popped in the chat to see my fuzzy face. It's getting fuzzy. I need to trim my mustache. I know. Yeah. Imagine how fucking huge that would have been. You know, I was talking to Mahler, and fucking, we would love to have a Game of Thrones again. Like, for Lord of the Rings to be that good. That would make me so fucking happy. But what we're going to see is an army of all-female Numenorians. Galadriel will be armored up. Yeah. It'll be, it's going to be a fucking disaster. They're going to fucking having sex. It's going to, I find that, I still find it hard to believe that like even Amazon would think about putting sex in a fucking Lord of the Rings show. It's kind of hard to get my brain around. It's like, wow. It would have been better if you took 250 million or 500 million now and pissed on it and then set it on fire. I decided to pick up Marvel's Alien. It's worse than I thought it would be. These books have been out for 4 months, and so they call the U.S. Marines fucksits. I don't know what they call them. While the Afghan withdrawal was happening in real life. Oh, so Marvel's Alien. Oh, I haven't looked at it. Oh, God, Grizzly, I wouldn't dare bring Marvel's Alien. Go read the Dark Horse stuff. It's fucking great. Thank you for the $20, Grizzly. Has anybody read King Spawn? What'd you think? Is it worth the hype? Steve Edwards for $2. So defending Texas rats now. What man narcs on women? So defending Texas rats now. What man narcs on women? I don't know what that's in reference to. Tell me, Steve Edwards, in the chat. I'll keep an eye on the chat. Or is it it says TX, so I'm assuming it's Texas. Is it tax rats now? What man narcs on a woman? You shouldn't. You shouldn't snitch at all. But let me know what you meant by that, Steve, because I am at a loss. It was probably something I was saying earlier. Cody Griffin for $10. Thanks, boss man, for saving me money with Shang-Chi. I'm pretty burned out on Marvel movies. It ended with Endgame for me, and it did for so many. And we're getting the most Marvel now, and it should be great, and it's not. And it's not, but people are calling it an absolute triumph. And I think, yeah, the biggest takeaway was like, once again, the critics are exposed for being complete fucking shills. I mean, we're not surprised at all. And it just, the price comes so cheap nowadays. It really does. MCU could have Miles Morales now that Sony has named their universe to Sony Spider-Man universe. So it's the SSMU. I think they're taking Peter back for their movies. Well, they own Miles Morales too. I mean, they control Miles Morales. Sony has been setting up their own universe in the background, and I don't know how long they're going to play nice with Marvel. I don't think it will be that long, because if Marvel even starts to tumble a little bit, why would Sony want to be attached to that when they've got their biggest character and they can go off and do their shit? And maybe Sony doesn't want to be woke. I mean, Venom wasn't woke. I mean, that was the first Sony superhero film exclusive, and it wasn't woke. What if they just try to make superhero movies and say, fuck Disney? It might work out for them. I'm not going to say they're the highest quality because, Tom Rothman famously hates superheroes and hates superhero movies, but we'll deal with them as long as they're making money. But he's never going to hand out $200 million budgets. Oh, God, no. Film Europa for £5 says, not into most things on your channel, but your passion for comics has reignited my love for European comics. Bought my first comic in 35 years. French comics? French comics are fucking amazing. There's a couple of Razor Fist videos you should go check out you're there. So, but for the rest of y'all, if you want to know like what French comics are all about, there's a couple of really good Razor Fist videos out there. I'm a big fan. Big fan. Do you think, and that was from Film Europa. Corey Freeman for $4.99. Do you think that replacing real martial arts skills with CG will be the new standard moving forward? Andy Lee, Death Dealer, was great though. Real skill. Yeah, that dude had real skill. You could tell. God, they did it a lot. They put in a lot of CG kung fu. But you could tell, like, the guy playing Death Dealer, like, knew his shit. That was, like, and he was barely in it. And that's kind of, I thought the whole movie was going to be that. I thought the Death Dealer costume was great. And they didn't use it. Ron K for $10 for your F Cali sooner than later fun. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, we got to get out of here. So if we have to juggle some plans or change some stuff, I guess that's what we got to do. Oh, Tobias Gregory for $10 Australian dollars. Gary watched the 2013 animated reconstruction of episode 4 of the 10th Planet of Doctor Who. This is probably the most notorious lost episode with William Hartnell. Regan, I highly recommend it. I think I will watch it. I'm like trying to remember if I even have it. I have so many things digital, not physical, but digital because of Friends. I'll have to look. Gary, I love the Crow soundtrack. Please mention my books. Archangel and the Desolation Dreams of Dark Machines, both available on Amazon. No Identity Politics. Keep up the great work. And that is from Leo Zakari for $10. And again, it's Archangel and the Desolation Dreams of Dark Machines, available on Amazon. Thanks, man. Overkill 161. Thank you for the 99-cent super chat. I appreciate it. Human Kirk for £2. If you love The Crow, definitely check out Dark City. Oh, I fucking love Dark City. Both directed by Alex Proyas. Richard O'Brien from Rocky Horror is in that. Just give another Toxic Avenger movie. Just give us another Toxic Avenger movie with no bullshit. BJ Brown for $5. Lloyd Kaufman's still alive. That guy's still kicking. And he survived me too, which is really surprising. Carl Weber for $4.99. Hey, Gary, watched The Protege a couple of nights ago and loved it. Was a great sexy spy thriller that wasn't woke that I'd recommend everyone watch. That's the one with the La Femme Nikita lady in it, right? Yeah, maybe it's probably better than Shang-Chi. Pop Culture Rocks for $5. Says, I have a new pop culture channel and would love to shill it here with all of you. Thanks for what you do, man. You're welcome. What was your old one? Did you have a channel previous? Brian Barlow for $5 says, being entertained by you talking about entertainment not being entertaining is my new norm. Thanks, Hail Nerdrotic. Thank you. That's so weird. But yeah, that's the way it goes right now. I'm not a troll all the time for $6.99 Canadian. The MCU needs to be completely rebooted with the new Captain America, Iron Man, etc. Fantastic Four, X-Men Fantastic Four. It is the only way. Completely agree. Absolutely 100% agree. Okay. Oh, okay. My wife just told me. That's okay. Snitches end up in ditches. In all cases. In all cases. If you're ratting on your neighbor, if you're ratting on somebody else, to the man, you a snitch. And you end up in a ditch. Not with a fucking stitch. Sounded like fucking Dr. Seuss there for a second. Whoops. Oops. We got a anecdotal story. Asian friend who typically buys into the woke narrative says to me, I hear Shang-Chi is doing fantastic. There's some weird agenda against this movie. Yet he has no intention of actually seeing it himself. There's no weird. Yeah, see, they try. That's what they try to do. There's an agenda against the movie. No, you created marketing based on an agenda and people are pointing it out. That's all. If you want to call that an agenda, oh my God, there's an agenda. People are calling us out on our bullshit. This must be stopped. Corporate simps, go. Thank you, Daniel, for the $20. No, recently there has been this, hey, let's flip things around and use some of their language against us because we're playing 4D chess. But the problem is the people, you can't play 4D chess with the 1D chess brain, okay? You just can't. Hey, Gary, first timer. Just here to give a creative shout out. He has an Indiegogo campaign called Shuriken. It could use a little help. Hail all, hail chat, hail Friday Night Tights, and hell yeah. And that's green hoodie for $20. Yeah, I'll check it out. I mean, shoot me an email of the campaign and I'll look at it. I think it's great that people are going out there and being creative and doing their own thing. Love it. Be it making a comic or doing a web series or taking a crack in an indie film or writing a novel or making some music or creating content here on the YouTube. I think it's fantastic. The hardest part is getting your work seen, and it's not easy making a comic book on your own. I mean that could turn. I mean, especially if it could turn into a full-time job, and that'd be great. But a busy one, a very busy one. There's a reason there were publishers and editors and writers, and you let the writers and the artists do their own thing while everybody did the business side of it, because it takes up a lot of fucking time. It does. And then you had those of us who sold the comic books, which is a skill in itself. I wouldn't call it an art form, but I would call it a skill. I would definitely call it a skill that not everyone has, even if they own a comic shop. Gary, do you think DC and the MCU are going the way of Star Wars? Is it time to just move on, or is it worth the fight? Insomniac 101 for 5 Canadian pesos. I think they are. I think we fight because we always got to fight. I mean, just walking away from everything doesn't do shit. It doesn't do shit. And not everybody can create an alternative. And you don't just create an alternative to a century-old institution in a decade. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't mean you don't try. But if we want to have... The biggest thing we're fighting, Insomniac 101, is it's not even a fight. It's winning the hearts and minds of the normies, which is what we're doing here every day. And we're getting new people every day. It just takes time. They infiltrated, and I mean the hardcore ideologues and provocateurs. It took them years to infiltrate these organizations. It will take them years to filter them out. And I know there is the mindset of just blackpill all this shit and walk away. I mean, if you need to do it for your sanity, okay. I mean, fine. If you're not in for the fight, that's cool. For no one said that this was going to be over anytime soon. Like, this is going to be long. This is going to take a long time. You know, we're only a couple years, 3 years into it. Star Wars, for me personally, I've walked away from. I'm done. I am not excited about anything. Nothing moves the needle. And even if they like, say Kenobi is good, say Kenobi's pretty good, how does that move the franchise forward exactly? You're telling a prequel story where we already know where Kenobi's story ends. And how does that make me forget about Gina Carano being fired, Luke drinking soy titty milk and then killing himself because he OD'd on the Force, Han Solo becoming a bad dad and killing himself, Princess Leia becoming the fucking general of bad decisions, Admiral Holdo, Rian Johnson, Kathleen Kennedy, The Last Jedi, The Force Awakens, Jar Jar Abrams. One fucking halfway decent Kenobi show is going to make me forget about that shit? And more importantly, move the franchise forward. Star Wars needs something new and successful. New and original. Move it past the Disney trilogy. So they need something new and original within a prepackaged franchise that has a set aesthetic. And you need to make it feel like Star Wars, but it's got to be new and move the franchise forward. Do you think for 1 second the very corporate Disney is capable of doing that? The answer is no. Jon Favreau is a hired gun. He is not he's in charge of his shows, but he is a hired gun who likes to create film and write. He's going to want to go do other stuff. I have said that from day one. No, so I don't give a fuck what they do, honestly. Damage is done. Marvel, shit, it wasn't that long ago. It was great. But no, that's a question I answer every day, or I get every day, and I answer, no, I'm not going to stop. Hell no. I'm in this for the long haul, and we'll see what happens. And in the meantime, we might get something good. Some shit might change. You know, you don't know when that time is going to be. For example, you know what sucks? Before I start this, for example, is Cobra Kai. If it was weekly, it would be so much bigger of a show. And it's pretty popular now. It's pretty universally loved. And imagine if they released it weekly. Oh, well. What could have been? Ghostbusters. If Ghostbusters is just, it doesn't need to reinvent the wheel. If it's just a fun movie that isn't filled with identity politics, that takes that Cobra Kai model and makes a shitload of money, paradigm shift, then we're off to the races. Because Hollywood will try to copy that. Right now, Disney Marvel leads the way. And they're cashing in some of their capital so they can push their agenda. And they know it's going to cause them some loss, but they thought that loss would be okay. We'd be able to recoup that down the road because we'll get more Marvel fans to get on board with our CRT agenda. Oh, and if anybody thinks for one fucking second that Disney's not doing that, they're doing it. We covered it on FNT. I've never seen a movie that Andy Serkis directed. I haven't either. Have you seen any, and how do you think his directing will work in Venom 2? That's a Super Nate for $5. I've never seen him direct, so I don't know what his style is. I mean, is it going to be like early Peter Jackson? Is it going to be Andy Serkis? I have no idea. I can't imagine it'll be any different than Venom. Who knows? Maybe he's the next Guillermo del Toro, and he'll do like the Blade 2 of Venom. I'll tell you, Super Nate, I'm looking more forward to Morbius and Venom than I am anything from fucking Marvel. I'm looking forward to No Way Home, but we've talked about that. Like, what's your biggest takeaway? It's a character from a movie from 2002. In a modern Spider-Man movie, they need to resort to gimmicks. That is a very bad sign. That's a very bad sign. And we're going to get Ready Player One, the superhero movie, except one will be Marvel and one will be DC. Carlos Batista for $10. Hey, Gary, I was wondering when there is going to be an Exozone. I don't know. I kind of wanted to do one last week. But yeah, we will see. We will see. We'll do another one soon. See, exozones require prep. And a completely different subject from what I usually cover for this channel. So it takes at least a day of work for me to go and start rooting for stuff to talk about, getting caught up on everything because I'm not as up to date on the UFO stuff, and it's been very quiet lately. Now I went in deep for research for the show. I watched 10 hours of Randall Carlson on Atlantis, and yeah, I mean, but we'll see. I don't know if Doomcock has time to watch 10 hours of Randall Carlson. I told him to watch it at double speed to make it 5 hours, but I don't know if he's had time to watch that, but that would be something we could talk about because it's fucking crazy. But yeah, it takes a ton of prep. I was thinking about getting a specific person to help prep for that show, and I still might do that. But like a lot of stuff has to just wait until after the move because it's kind of chaos now. It's easy to like just do a nooner. I could talk about a couple articles and blah blah blah, but Exozone takes a little work. It's fun work. Tyler finally put out a video yesterday. It was all right. I like Tyler from Secure Team. But I haven't seen anything too fascinating lately. And the whole, government, whatever that thing was supposed to happen in June was a big dud. A big nothing. It seems like we're getting like the disclosure every 6 months or so, and it's getting to be less and less. And now Lou Elizondo got fired or something like that. Something happened with him. Das Gecko for $5. Dumb of you to protest Disney by buying tickets to Free Guy instead of Shang-Chi. Instead, Disney will release Free Guy through Fox, which it owns. What the fuck? Own your mistake. I did own my mistake. Yeah, all I could say is that movie, that money went to Free Guy and not to Shang-Chi. But DOS, I absolutely own my mistake. Elliot Davies for 10 Canadian pesos. Disney content not being allowed into China after China's 100th. Yeah, there's the 100th anniversary of the CCP. They're denying Western culture influence and going back to their old ways. Nerdrotic, keep creating amazing content. Thank you, Elliot. I will do my very best. Shang-Chi's and the Legend of My Butt, says Halfish for $4.99. I think Shang-Chi is good. Thunderstorm for $4.99. Some cheese looked extremely boring, like it is too short and I got paint to watch drying. Yep. It's boring. It's boring. I can't see people watching this again. I imagine it will have a similar drop off to Black Widow. I imagine that will be spun in a. Let's put it this way. I don't think the drop off will be 70%, but it will need to be, because if it's only 65%, then they're going to go, it wasn't as bad of a drop off as Black Widow. These are pathetic numbers for Marvel films. These are pathetic numbers. There is built-in excuses. I am of the belief that I don't think that many people are scared off by Madelta. I think people are tired of shitty Hollywood movies, and I do believe that they have diminished their audience with their constant politicization, their constant grandstanding, alienating half the fucking country. That has consequences over time. And it'll look small at first, but we have already seen Hollywood ticket sales going down prior to the coup. Independent film, which is where you can get really political and do experimental things. Independent film has all but died. And this is prior to the coup. Independent film ticket sales were down 30% year to year, 30%. And now it's just, well, you better pray a streaming service likes your movie like kitties. And, yeah, or you better crowdfund and have a platform or something and find a way to get attention. I don't have the answer to that. I've been wondering about that because listen, people love making film. People make independent films. They're being made every day. I just don't see them. I need to see them. If people want to I don't know. You spend all of your money on the film and you have to, even for an indie film, you have to have that money to market and get it out there. And the distribution is the hardest part. It's the hardest part. Some young guy for $2 says, asks an exozone question, and I answered that already. So, hail and thanks. I'm melancholy thinking about Iron Man set in Afghan. How all's changed. M. Tack Shark. Hail and thanks. I'm melancholy thinking about Iron Man set in Afghanistan. Now all has changed. Yes. Well, they couldn't remake Iron Man 1 today. Or no, they wouldn't. You can. You can make any fucking movie you want. You can do whatever you want. The criticism that they fear wouldn't affect your film if one company said, fuck you. No. I mean, it is wide open right now for one of these studios, Universal, whoever it is, to just say, fuck it. I'm going to make like these hardcore, testosterone-driven fucking movies, I don't know, from 10 years ago. And you could, like action flicks. I'm surprised action flicks, especially after oh God, why am I blanking on the name now? I hate it when that happens. John Wick. Duh. After John Wick, I thought they would be, see, this is what happens on your brain fart. I thought there would be a bunch of people trying to copy that. And I think they tried kind of half-heartedly, but those are cheap movies to make, and you get a relatively, well-known name star, and you do an action flick. And you can make those things that was fucking 80s did that for a decade. I dig that. I think it'd be great, but violence. I mean, it's okay if Keanu does violence, but we can't have anybody else doing violence. You can't show any kind of violence towards women at all anymore. Your only bad guy can be basically Nazis or Swedish bikers. Yeah, you can't write a lot of stories with that. We were spoiled with Logan. Now the MCU makes us suffer, says Mao DeMighty for 2 Canadian pesos. Yeah. Hey, for a minute there, Fox was figuring it out. Like, we got Deadpool, Days of Future Past, Logan, and the first 2 seasons of Legion. Shit. There's like a little sweet spot where Fox, yeah, there's a sweet spot there where fucking Fox figured it out and they made some good movies. The moment we started to see S.H.I.E.L.D. refer to itself as S.H.I.E.L.D. before the events of Iron Man, we are watching the variant MCU, says Gonzalo Bagali for 75 Uruguayan pesos. Thank you very much. Give me a moment. I feel like I missed something. There we go. Cami Anime. Cami Anime. Do you want me to say Cami Anime S? Because it's S at the end. For $25. Hope you are enjoying My Hero Academia and the movie I sent you. I'll send a second movie also soon. And hope you like the One Piece I'm sending some more chapters. Also, I hope you like the figures were awesome. And they're going to go up in here. As a matter of fact, that's happening today. I've been having some issues with the shipping. I'm sorry to hear that. I will take a picture for you for Instagram that my wife will put up of the figures. And what I'm going to do is once I'm done watching My Hero Academia, I'm going to do a review for the members first, and then we'll make it public. Thank you, Cami Anime. I will send it to you. So I don't know if you're a member or not. So I'll make sure you see it. I'll send you a copy of the review. Hail Nerdrotic's in chat. While I'm glad to see you getting out of California and moving to Texas, I'd love to hang out with you if you ever come to Tampa. Also, do you think Larry Elder actually has a shot in California? Thanks for all you do always. The Whitfield Report for $10. Hey, let's hang out in Tampa. That'd be cool. I might be going to Florida whenever the meetup is, if I'm welcome. Do I think he's got a chance? I think he had a chance. I think the big tech, big media, big Hollywood machine that backs Newsom is just too fucking powerful, and they're going to steamroll everybody, and they've turned this into, oh my God, the Republicans are going to come and make the state terrible. And their argument is it would just create gridlock against the supermajority. So let's just keep the supermajority and authoritarianism, I can't talk right now. Totalitarianism, let's just say that. And oppression. Let's just stick with what we've had for decades. And the homeless problem will get worse. The crime will continue to get worse. Tell you what could have hurt Newsom, and we still got a couple of weeks. Economy. Because it ain't that great here anymore. It really ain't. Southeastern Kaiju for $5. Finished rewatching The Expanse, and even the Naomi Philippe mama drama wasn't as bad as I remembered. So many great characters. Oh, I don't mind and I actually so many great characters and actual stunning and brave women. R.I.P. Miller and Alex Kamal. Yeah, the way they did Alex, I hated. And because they had to Me Too one of the actors, they fucked up that book. They fucked up the fifth book so much. But it's still far superior than fucking most of the bullshit out there. Cody S. for $1 says, hey, Gary, what do you think about Prometheus and Alien Covenant? I don't. I know they aren't great, but I love the character David and wanted to see his story end. Last movie had an interesting setup. Then I'd like Neil Blomkamp to make his own alternate Alien 3 afterwards. That's what I'd like to see.
I didn't think much of Ridley Scott's work, and I think he should have let. I think he should have let it go. But he came in there and fucked it up. Pop Culture Rocks for $50. Because I have a new pop culture channel. I have to shill. Fighting the Good Fight. Big ups to you and the chat. Check it out. Pop Culture Rocks. When did you start? You got to give me some deets. Phaser Face for $5. What is your favorite episode from every Star Trek series up to Enterprise? I can answer that on Twitter. Phaser Face. That's something I need to think about. That's not something I could just go, boo. But I can answer that on Twitter. I'll have to remember that. Hang on. There, I just screen grabbed it. The Grizzly for $5. Space Antifa start a Xeno outbreak on a space station. They are portrayed as plicky hero rebels as they kill thousands by starting outbreak. One of two. And that's the Grizzlies' first one. What is this? Or what are we talking about here? I decided to. Okay. That was the second one. So that I got it. So that's the Marvel's Alien book is about Space Antifa. Oh yeah, I'll skip it. Thank you very much. I will skip it. The Whitfield Report again for $9.99. I miss the days of the early MCU when comics were still underground subculture in the mid-2000s. I'm only 26, but I feel like a grumpy old man these days. It's because the shit sucks. And it wasn't that long ago where the comics were fine. It is getting pretty long now. 8 years. It's been well over a year since I purchased a new Marvel or DC comic. And it's going on 2. More like Shang-Chi, am I right? Yes. Yes. Jubs McGee for $2. Project's done poorly for $5. What did you think of Art Bell? Heard he sold out in his latter years, but can't find out how. No, he didn't sell out at all. Not at all. No. He retired because he was always kind of paranoid. I don't know why he was always paranoid. He obviously had some demons. He had some demons, and he retired. He came back, and then he retired again. But when he came back, he was good. One of the greatest interviewers I've ever heard, and just a compelling guy. Great voice. Gone too soon because of them damn demons. Fucking opiates. Colt Seaman for $20. Hello, everyone. A serious question that everyone can answer, and please think about this. Is it worth selling out your race to LA for pity representation points to be loved for a second and discarded for the next hot thing? That's the LA mentality. It's not really race. They'll sell out. People will sell out their family for fucking 10 minutes of fame. People will do some crazy shit for fame and clout. I've witnessed it, and it shouldn't shock me considering I've seen what people will do to get drugs, which is anything. And I mean anything. For the most minuscule amount of drugs, people will let other people do horrible things to either themselves or other people. I've seen the darkest of the fucking dark, maybe not the darkest, but dark shit in my time. And people will do that for fucking fame. The same thing. You know, addiction is real. Fame is fleeting, as they say. I was watching, that 12 minutes I was watching of Cinderella. It's about a girl who wants people. She was singing some cover song, or I don't know if it's original or not, but like the whole song was like, "You're gonna know my name. You're gonna know my name." It was so important for her that you knew her name, and that's what like we're teaching our kids now, and that's what the whole Hollywood fake dream is people will know your name. You'll be important. You'll be in lights. They'll listen to you at award shows. Well, not anymore. I don't know if you guys heard, but they're actually playing with the idea of the Oscars of passing out the trophies during the commercials and cutting out acceptance speeches to improve ratings. And I think it might work. No, it's needing the fame, the attention, and all that stuff. And I say that as a YouTuber. It's great. I'm having fun talking. I don't need to be worshipped or anything. That's fucking weird. But some people do. Some people need that shit. And, man, I don't know. Damage from the parents. Who knows? But I don't think it's the greatest message to send in the world. I think being good at something, yeah, I think you want to aspire to be good at something or the best you can possibly be. And if it makes you happy, that's fucking cool. That's awesome. And, acting is a skill that a lot of people have and a lot of people don't. And that's what makes them adult pretenders. Want to think about how long it takes to move the needle? Watch Guilty Until Proven Innocent. Change takes years. Thank you, Michael Hickson, for $5. Most of you understand that. And it's okay. I didn't know I was going to get involved in this. I didn't. Government Cheese for $5. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Darth Vader for $4.99. Gary, I just wanted to say, man, keep up the good content. And you and Jeremy have shown me Hollywood's true colors, and it sucks where movies are now. Thank you, Darth Vader. Yeah, it does suck. Nothing about this is the only fun part is we found each other and we found this like alternate form of like niche entertainment where we just kind of laugh at it. We humans can make the best out of bad situations. The Grizzly says the U.S. Marines were sent in to save Antifa and are called Yahtzees for serving the evil United States while Afghanistan is going on in official Disney comic book canon. I want to vomit. It's bad. That's in an Alien comic book. For fuck's sake. I'm not missing anything. Thank you, Grizzly, for reading that for me. Dalton Rambo for $5. Hey, Gary, entertainment has become so cucked that I thought I took up golf for my free time. Fresh air, no identity politics, posting with my dollar. Fuck yeah. Golf is good. Michael Storm for 5 Belgian pesos. Hey, Gary, just finished watching Batman The Long Halloween Part 1. I loved it more than the MCU, than any MCU entry we've had this year. DC wins 2021 for me. I heard it's quite good. Went to go get King Spawn this week, and 2 of our comic shops were closed permanently. Oh, Jesse Videos. No, I hate that story. The others were too far away. Sad weekend for Corpus Christi, Texas. Oh, shit. Yeah, they don't have a full number on the closed shops yet. That last count that they gave was counting. They haven't confirmed. In other words, they were counting closed shops. Brother Paul for $5 says, peace out, Gary and Clan, but I need to go after Antifa, and I live 10 minutes away from the Dark Horse in Oregon. From Dark Horse? Dark Horse isn't in Oregon anymore. I thought they were in Milwaukee. But he needs to go after Antifa. They spelled clan with a C, though. Hail, Gary, do you think the studios using the China virus are an excuse for bad numbers will hold up after the massive college football audience videos keep circulating. It's very hard to argue against that. It's like, yeah, people are a little afraid to go to movie theaters, except for the 100,000 people all wearing a red shirt at a giant fucking college game. And there was multiple games. So, and we'll see how we see what NFL looks like, but college don't give a fuck. Phaser Face for $5. What? I read that one already. I have a new pop culture channel. I read that one already too. But check out Pop Culture Rocks. Yeah, and of course I'm a member of the Fellowship. Like Amazon is so annoying right now. It's saying it's late, but when I look at the tracking number in USPS, it says delivered, so I don't understand, but hopefully you got it. So it should be 11 figures, hopefully. Oh, okay. So you delivered them to the P.O. box, so I did pick them up, unless it came in the last 2 days. But I went to the P.O. box 2 days ago. Haven't cracked anything open yet because I was trying to get the video out and work on stuff. Lots of stuff. I got lots of stuff to do. Is that air conditioning I feel? That's air conditioning I feel. I guess the guy came by. Awesome. I was like, wow, it's cooling off in here. Thank you, Cami Anime. I appreciate it. And yes, you are responsible. I will be reviewing My Hero Academia and One Piece. One piece at a time. That's right. Excuse me, drink of water for the working woman. Cami Anime for $25. Oh, you already gave me that. Okay, that's cool. You already said that. And do you know how long I've been putting off anime and manga? Like decades. And listen, I'm not to offend any of our anime or manga fans, but I wasn't the biggest fan of the art. So I would say if they start translating more, again, go to Razor Fist video, and he recommends some French comics. Fucking just check those out as well, because they're fucking good. They are good. And the art is phenomenal. Phenomenal. James Hamblin for $8.99. I'm not an anime guy, but I love My Hero Academia. It helped me through depression last year. All Might and Midoriya are inspirational. This is what Western comics should be like. And apparently they just take the Western comics formula and do it better. So I'm okay with that. And if it's inspirational, and better yet, it got you through depression, I mean, that's what our escapism does. That's why it means so much to all of us, because every single one of you out there in that chat, whether you're lurking or you're participating, even if you're hating, you all have gone through dark periods where there's a book out there that's near and dear to your heart that got you through one of those dark periods. Could be Sandman for one guy, or fucking Batman Nightfall for somebody else. Guardians of the Galaxy from 2005 for somebody else. Everybody's got a story. Star Wars, Raiders of the Lost Ark. For me, it was Dark Knight Returns. A book. I'll show you the fucking book. Unless it's blocked. Oh, wait, you can see it. Right there. There's the crow. There's the book. That got me through prison. I read that book over and over again. So we've all got a story. We've all got a thing that got us through a thing. And that's why escapism is important. And that's why it sucks that we can't, like now, especially now. Now we need escapism more than ever. That's why it was, great seeing Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad might have had hints of this and that there, but what helped it, what saved it, was the characters, the writing, and the acting, and the performance by Ratcatcher 2. Key to the movie. Nerdy Girl Creates for $4.99. I did a video about the uninteresting and unlikable characters. I will check it out, Nerdy Girl Creates, right after this live stream. Go subscribe to Nerdy Girl Creates. The Whitfield Report for $4.99. You say that people will do anything for drugs. Would you say that fame is a drug? Yes. I know you're have had your struggles, and I admire your tenacity. Thank you. Thank you, Whitfield Report. I appreciate that. I think I persevere. I've persevered through my life. I've endeavored to persevere. Outlaw Josie Wales, fucking great movie. Star Killer OBL for 25, we'll say Polish pesos? I could be wrong. Big tech, please. It's people that believe them and then vote. How far gone would you have been to believe that Larry Elder is a racist? Oh, dude, I totally agree. No. It's big tech. It's their power to communicate with a lot of, scare idiots. If you think Larry Elder's a racist, fucking LA Times called a black man the blackface white supremacy. But here's the problem with that. We're letting it go. The LA Times should be brought to fucking heel. They should be brought to their fucking knees for making a statement like that. Because they don't care. They don't care what the consequences are. You know what the fucking consequences are now? Because Hollywood has participated in all the divisiveness. Big tech has clearly been trying to control our lives from behind the scenes. We have Marvel and DC Comics picking a side in a gubernatorial recall and making it public, which all is a little paper cut. It's a little divisive paper cut. But some of them are big paper cuts, like calling Larry Elder the fucking blackface of white supremacy. That's a slash. And it's a slash at our society, our civil society. And we are getting more and more divisive. And our institutions that have all failed us, our politicians who have all fucking failed us, are playing into this divisiveness. And there's only one fucking way this goes, unless we stop. So in my little realm, I was just trying to call it out in pop culture, knowing that there's a bigger picture we're talking about here. So I don't know if you missed what I was saying there, Star Killer, but yeah, it's big tech's, big Hollywood's, and big media's power to convince the low information voter that they're actually fighting for good by keeping Gavin Newsom, a proven idiot. Guy was out there doing a video going, I love women. Women are the best. They're smarter. They're this and that. And you know what he loves? You know what women he particularly loves? His best friend's wives. Those are the women he really loves when he fucks them. That happened to be his campaign aide. Oh, they both were. His best friend and his wife were campaign aides, and he had sex with her when he was running for mayor. Dude's POS. Oh, of course, they both blamed it on alcoholism. So they used addiction. Oh, by the way, they went to rehab for 10 days and they're completely cured of their fucking insane alcoholism that they drank to excess all the time. Really? Really? Because I saw a wine glass on your fucking table at the French Laundry, dude. Maybe it had water in it. I don't know. Are you still sober, or were you bullshitting about being an alcoholic just so you can wipe away the fucking Me Too that he got away with, showing that everybody's full of shit? He's going to win. He's going to win. And that's why I'm leaving California. I think Larry Elder had a chance. I think he scared the fucking shit out of them, and they fortified the recall. They fortified the recall. They mailed in all the ballots. They did what they need to do. California is pretty fucking blue, but this wasn't just a red recall. There's not enough Republicans here to do shit, influence jack shit. There was a lot of Democrats who wanted him gone too. I just want him recalled. As far as Larry Elder goes, there's another girl who's a business owner who's running that I like too, and we'll get there when we get there. Larry Elder seems all right to me, and I will vote before I leave. But I'm still leaving because I want my governor is going to be Greg Abbott. Greg Abbott. I think the entire state of California has gone to crap. My family left Cali and took me and my sisters to Idaho 16 years ago in our teen years. And I thank them for that every day. Hail Nerdrotic. Yeah, it's sad. This is a pretty it's a pretty beautiful place. That's a big fucking waste of time now. Oh. Yeah, there's just not much going on. I'm checking Variety. I usually check Variety, like Variety and Deadline, twice a day. Keep an eye on the trades. Michael K. Williams is dead. Played Omar Little in The Wire. He was 54. That's sad. Jean-Paul Belmondo died. He was 90. Dune premieres in Venice. Denis Villeneuve urges audiences to watch movie in theaters. Timothy Chalamet hopes for sequel. I heard the Eternals got a 5-minute standing ovation in Venice. You believe that shit? I never do. It's all a bunch of crap. One Piece manga editor has a strong sense series is near its conclusion. With the end in sight, all that remains is to keep moving forward. There you go. Charlie Cox is not going to be in Spider-Man. Yeah, Ryan was showing this. There's some progress. There's some progress. Oh, yep, he's here. I can hear him. Hey, Gary, first super chat. $4.99 from Mila. Been a lurker since Game of Thrones Season 8. Had my own Cal exit last month. From the Bay to Texas, I recommend Vinland Saga anime manga. The Vinland Saga anime manga. Thank you, Mila. I'll check it out. Why, thank you very much. Thank you. That is fabulous, and welcome from Lurkin. See, we met some lurkers at the meetup, and that was good. That was nice to see. I think oh yeah, I read that one. And Daniel, I can't read yours because it's cut off, but now I think I can. So Congress should be composed of 541 Gary Beeklers. That would suck. We'd all be late. But we'd vote better than they would. We would, but we'd all be late. Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate that. So, what have I got planned? Since it's been, I've been waiting for an opportunity like this. Okay, so we did the experiment, and Perry is going to edit more stuff, which means, like, should I have Perry edit Picard? Probably. Or should we at least do half of it each? That's a possibility. I thought the last episode of What If was decent. I do. It was sad. I thought it was decent, but I hate the animation. It's Doctor Strange focused. And on that news, I think Rachel McAdams is said to play Cleo. It's like somebody sent me an email saying that. But I don't want to, like, all of this fucking, I don't want to see any of this anymore. I don't want to see anything fucking adapted anymore because you can tell they're trying to get rid of Doctor Strange. They're trying to get rid of everybody else. Oh, wow. This is interesting. Now, this is from IGN. The Russo brothers might not direct another MCU movie due to the Black Widow lawsuit. They reportedly concerned with how a new MCU movie from them would be released. And you know what? ScarJo lost her lawsuit this weekend. But it doesn't matter because the creatives have now, Disney took its mask off. So ScarJo forced Disney to take its mask off, and you're going to see, like, this is all going to lead to an actors strike because these companies can fuck people over in all new different ways with streaming services. And you're not going to get your kickbacks. And I talked about this. When things go digital, your residuals go from dollars to pennies on the dollar. Pennies on the dollar. Because your work gets lost in a sea of shit. So it's not making as much money. And you have to rely on the company to be honest about their numbers, which they never fucking will be. Do you think if you're a creative and you have residuals in fucking Star Wars, do you think Disney's going to give you the numbers for Star Wars, their real fucking numbers? No, of course not. Never. Why would they do that? That's giving up power. The Russo brothers might not direct another Marvel movie, and there was some rumors that they would come back to do like a Secret Wars kind of thing. The news comes by way of a new report from the Wall Street Journal that details the effects of Disney and Johansson's public fallout over the release of Black Widow, as reported by Screen Rant. Due to the lawsuit and how Black Widow was released and how Johansson has paid as a result, the Russo brothers and Disney have reportedly hit an impasse in negotiations for their Marvel Cinematic Universe return. Even if ScarJo loses this lawsuit, there's no way in hell this is supposed to hit a court. This is all supposed to be done in arbitration behind closed doors because Discovery would be a fucking nightmare for Disney. ScarJo wouldn't give a shit. According to the Wall Street, like, again, I'm on nobody's side here. I don't give a fuck. I just love seeing the Schadenfreude. Okay, so like whatever creates more Schadenfreude is that's the side I'm on. According to the Wall Street Journal, the Black Widow lawsuit has the directing duo questioning how a new MCU movie from them would be released and how they would be paid for it. No details were revealed about what their MCU return would have been, but the brothers have been quite open in their interest due to the Secret Wars movie. Now, here's what they're going to have to do. Negotiating from here on out, you're going to have to cover whatever, and that's, you know, there's acts of God. What if a meteor falls on the fucking movie theater? What if a meteor falls on Hollywood? What if just Hollywood has a coof? What if there's another coof? What if there's a Delta Epsilon variant? You're going to have to cover all your bases now in negotiation. That's all this is, right? But what ScarJo did, like I said before, she fucked Disney. Whether she wins or loses, she fucked Disney. Which is hilarious. After the release of Black Widow, Johansson legal team announced that it was suing Disney over a contract breach for the actress over her solo MCU release was release day and date on Disney Plus. Johansson's contract reportedly assured her that the movie would be released exclusively in theaters. Now, listen, why didn't she sue before the movie came out? That's a good question. Why did she sue after it was confirmed? Like after a week? We didn't hear anything the first week. We only heard it after it started to fall. The Black Widow actress was reportedly contracted to get paid based on the movie's box office numbers. Theoretically, the box office numbers weren't as high as they would have been due to Black Widow also being released day and day on Disney Plus as a Premier Access title. Sources familiar with the lawsuit say the move to streaming cost Johansson more than $50 million. I'd be mad about that. But I don't know if that's true. Ryan Kinnell has seen, I guess he's seen the lawsuit and said she doesn't have a leg to stand on. Doesn't matter. I don't think she did this to have a leg to stand on. I think she did it to get a settlement and to fuck Disney. And, well, at least one of those, mission accomplished. Since Johansson's legal team announced that it was suing Disney, the fallout between the actress and the MCU parent company has played out publicly, with Disney stating that it believes Johansson's lawsuit has no merit whatsoever. Disney doesn't believe women. Disney doesn't believe women. I thought we were supposed to believe women, but look what they've done to Gina Carano. Look what they've done to Scarlett Johansson. Disney's a misogynist company. You go, girl. In fact, the public nature of this fallout has repeatedly left the MCU head Kevin Feige upset and embarrassed over how Disney is treating the beloved MCU actress. He's all, that is the MCU's ass that you're fucking with right now, and the MCU's tits. So, yeah. For more, catch up with the Black Widow lawsuit movement and IGN's breakdown, blah, blah, blah. Wow, do I want to hear Corporate Chills talk about this? No, I don't. I think this is like something we should talk to a lawyer about. Maybe Ricada or Barnes or something like that. What do you think, guys? I think so. I'm sorry I went to the IGN website. You have my apologies. Interesting. I want to thank Tom, not Tom from Midnight's Edge, but another Tom, for sending that via email. Keep those emails coming. By the way, there are Vegas posters available, and if you send an email saying Vegas poster, we will set it aside, and when the missus comes back, we'll have those shipped out to you. I think there's still some available, so just as long as supplies last, and we'll just mail them to you. If you're in the U.S., and if it's like reasonable, and I don't mean to sound like a dick, but if you live in the middle of the Congo, I don't know if I can get you a FNT poster for free shipping, but most places, yes, we can ship it. But yes, you can get an F&T poster. Sorry, I got distracted. Yes, some people actually, somebody's sending me an email. I can't say what it is, but some people think Shang-Chi's a masterpiece, and I that's okay. I'm not going to tell somebody they're wrong about their opinion. I disagree. And I went in there open-minded, tried to forget that Simu Liu is basically the male Brie Larson. Nope. Scratch that. He's worse than Brie Larson. He's worse than Brie Larson. If you look into, Az and I had a conversation yesterday, and Az told me a thing, and I looked into that thing, and he most certainly did that thing. He is the kind of guy that every time something goes wrong, he uses it as an opportunity to go, my Asians. My Asians. Well, like including his sitcom being canceled after 5 seasons and saying they didn't give it a chance. I think 5 seasons is giving a sitcom a chance. That's just me. George Molo says 1 of 55. Happy Labor Day, Gary. Happy Labor Day to you, George. Hope you're feeling better. What's up, brother? What is up? Yeah. So when you go to here's the deal. For me anyway, when I go to a superhero movie called Shang-Chi, I want to see him being the main character. I want to see him doing the heavy lifting. Riding a dragon, which was female. Oh, yes, the dragon was female, and they made sure to let you know. In the matriarchal run, Tai Lo or Tai Lao, where the mom knew the more peaceful, more powerful form of Kung Fu, the mystical form of Kung Fu, and the dad appropriated some rings. By the way, did I not tell you that they don't tell you where the rings came from or what the source of their power is? No. At the end, there's a credit scene, and they talk to Captain Marvel and Bruce Banner. Captain Marvel acts like the most important. She's running the MCU right now, by the way. It's her MCU. It is Captain Marvel's MCU. She has now taken over for Tony Stark, and this was their plan from the beginning. I did a live stream a long time ago saying this is the worst idea ever because Brie Larson is not fucking Robert Downey Jr. For some reason, Kevin Feige thinks that she is. He'll find out. Well, I think he's already found out. She has been demoted in her own movie. But for, reasons that are actually more woke. I didn't know that was possible, but it's possible. Gentle on James. What if they deep fake Brandon for a Crow sequel? Ooh. If the family was okay with it? I think there's probably an actor out there who could be a good Crow, and if they did it properly, I'm okay with that. It's been long enough. You can reboot the movie, but not now. A deep fake of Brandon would be eerie. It would be eerie. But they're going to do that someday. Gentle on James, that's a situation like that will happen sooner than later. We're going to see Marlon Brando, John Wayne, Cary Grant, Harrison Ford, David Bowie, Robin Williams all in a movie together. I know Harrison Ford's still alive, but barely. No, I want him to live to 100 years. Thank you, Gentle on James. Thank you, George Molo. 2 of 55. Kevin Feige self-cucked. All hail the chat. All hail Nerdrotic. Yes, Kevin Feige. Something happened. Okay, can we just say it? Can we just say it? He got in his couch with somebody, and something changed. And you know what? Sometimes some men, ladies, I'm sorry for the crude language. I know we're building on my female audience. I think it's at 6.7%. So ladies in the audience, you're wonderful. You're smart. You're badass. Forgive my crude language, but some men put the pussy on a pedestal. And you can't put the pussy on a pedestal. You can't worship it like a god. Act like you've been there before, even if you haven't. And it's okay if you haven't, okay? But just act like you've been there before. Because for one, ladies don't like it. I mean, they like to be treated right. But they want you to be a man too. Vast majority of them. Just my experience. What do I know, though? And maybe Kevin, was just kind of a dopey producer, but now this Marvel thing, he's already starting to get attention, and he got a lot of attention from an actress or something. And he just said, fuck these comic books. I'm getting laid now. No, I have no idea. But something has happened. I don't know if there's pictures. I don't know if it was the long game. Or I don't know if this is an edict brought down by Disney and these companies are not run autonomously anymore, which could be it. I don't know. I know there's many theories out there. And I will come up with some of my own, but they will be based on what I have seen, what you have seen, what we have as far as stories go. There is a lot of talk that there's a battle behind the scenes. With Marvel and with the CEO, Bob Chapek. I need to see evidence to back this up because everything I've heard from Bob Chapek back in like Clownfish TV were some of the first to talk about Bob Chapek before he took over. He used to run the parks. And remember, the parks, I do believe, are under investigation for FCC violations, for funky accounting, under Bob Chapek's tutelage, under his control. Bob Chapek has implemented the CRT training recently. That's Bob Chapek. That's not Kathleen Kennedy. That's not Kevin Feige. It's not Bob Iger. It's Bob Chapek. So I can't see this company turning around, and I put that on Twitter. It's just, I just can't. I hope I'm wrong. But I believe if Hollywood changes, if there's a sea of change and it happens, Disney will be the last one to that party if they show up at all. Three of 55, George Molo. What was the nickname you gave Captain Marvel? Can't recall. All hail. Did I give Captain Marvel? I got the MCU out of Captain Marvel. Captain Karen? I can't remember. I have so many nicknames. Was it in my review? It was probably in my review. I'll have to go back and watch it. Thank you, George. I'm sorry. Memory like Swiss cheese. Hail, George! Check out Fresh and Fit Gary. Very funny. Check out Fresh and Fit Gary. Very funny and facts, says Sweetie Scott for $2. Sweetie Squad, thank you. Fresh and fit. Well, I try for a 52-year-old middle-aged guy. 0-hour discussions for 125 Martian pesos. I don't know what that denomination is. Gary, JM Cruz here. Big fan from, what's MNL? Big fan from MNL since late 2019. Lost my channel last week, but I hope I can invite you for an interview session in the future. All hail. Why'd you lose your channel? What happened? Yeah, I mean, shoot me an email. I'll do an interview. I'll go on anybody's channel. Absolutely. And tell me how you lost your channel. I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. George, you're awesome. Jack White. Not of the White Stripes. A little white pill. Did you see Stick's video yesterday about the Trump populace overrunning the local government positions and how the SJWs are unhappy? No, I didn't. I didn't see that. I did see. Did you see, Jack, the woman getting attacked in the French Mall because she didn't have a vax passport and she got the shit beat out of her by the cops, and then the protesters came in and chased the cops out? That was fucked up what happened to that lady. That shit better not happen here. American policemen, don't do that shit here. Oh, something, guys. I shouldn't even fucking say this. Somebody's going to fuck up. You know what I'm talking about. Somebody's going to fuck up. Somebody's going to fuck up. I said this thing to Jeremy in March on a live stream. I said, somebody's going to fuck up. And somebody fucked up in Minnesota. Fluffy Pencil 3713 for $4.99. Thank you for the hippopotamus super sticker. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. This ScarJo stuff, fascinating. Fascinating. I think this ends with it's likely she'll just get she'll get her settlement and walk away, but I see the troops getting rallied. I don't know when the collective bargaining is up for actors and actresses. I know the writers came very close, and then I think they signed one. But actors are going to get, we already saw Disney when they bought Star Wars, they just stopped paying everybody their residuals. And they waited for somebody to say something. They're assholes. This is a fucking shitty company. Oh, yes, Captain Manverse. All hail George Molo. For $9.99. Super Chat 4 of 55. I just remembered. Captain Manverse. Hail. Hail to you, George. Oh, we got lots of requests for the FNT poster. Hell yeah. We're going to be making a shirt. I've got an idea. We're also going to make a shirt out of an already established design. Az had a very good idea yesterday that we will announce in a month or so. Az's idea is fucking fantastic. I am so excited for this idea. Yeah, all I could do is tease you right now. Hang on. Let me, are you out there, Jeremy, from Geeks and Gamers? Always working on trying to make FNT the best show it can possibly be. And same with this one, too. All right. Yeah, wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 requests for the poster. That is fantastic. Love you guys. Also, Mrs. Nerdrotic will get mad. Follow me on Instagram, instagram.com/nerdrotic. We do giveaways all the time there. And we're almost at 10,000. And if we get to 10,000, we're able to do things on Instagram we can't do without being at 10,000. I think we're 1,500 away from 10,000 followers on Instagram. So please follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/nerdrotic. I'm getting hungry. I got a burrito in the fridge. Uh-oh. Will do. Answering that text. Will do. So, I saw, I usually don't talk about ankle biters, but it's Labor Day. What the fuck? So, another, this guy's been making videos about me and other people. I think he drug yellow flash into it for a couple of years, and it's just the same old, same old. My position on Doctor Who makes me alt-right, white supremacist, blah, 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 blah. All right? So Noel, bless his heart, from the TARDIS Zone, brought it to my attention. And I noticed that this person went after Sargon before, and then Sargon got an apology out of this person. But within that apology, you heard why he made the accusations he made. So long story short, there is a YouTuber out there that said something horrible about Sargon of Akkad. Something defamatory. And that's what the ankle biters do. They ratchet up the rhetoric, the baseless rhetoric, so Sargon will respond. Now, he did. Sargon has that right. I've talked to Sargon once on a live stream. Seems like a perfectly nice guy to me, and I like his work a lot. So this Doctor Who YouTuber went after Sargon, said some horrible things, and then Sargon got an apology out of this Doctor Who YouTuber. So the Doctor Who YouTuber sends a lengthy apology that Sargon read and accepted. Problem being, posted it. Within the apology, what I said was baseless, and I think he made an accusation based on bad information, so he apologized for that. But he also said, "I'm sorry to Sargon's audience that this is your first impression of me." Boom, you were caught. That's why you did it. You don't care what Sargon said. You don't care what he did. You just needed Sargon to say something about you. That's all. That was it. That's all you needed. That's why we don't pay ankle biters no mind. They're gonna bite ankles. That's what they do. I highly recommend stay out of the drama, compete against yourself, create content, be fun, entertaining, or at least compelling. And yeah, you can have a good time making accusations about people you don't even fucking know, some people can take them pretty seriously, and who knows, sometimes you cross the line and you could get sued. I have no idea. I don't, that's why I don't respond to it. Because if you respond to it, it validates the lie. So what makes an ankle biter? It's a dead channel, a channel that doesn't have any traction, or a channel that lost traction. Rarely has anything to do with the content creator they're going after. Again, they don't care what they said. They don't care what they do. They just want to get something going on their channel, because it's not going. And instead of looking in the mirror, just trying to create other content, it's easier to just, call people white supremacists or whatever. So that's what's going on here. This guy, again, has been like, he hung his, And why does a channel lose traction? There's a lot of reasons for that. For example, you could come out as like a free speech proponent, anti-SJW, then you turn into a false flag and fraud. Or you betray the message, the overall message of your channel for whatever reason. Or the mask comes off. Or you hang your hat on one subject and just ride that thing until the end. Like, for example, the first female doctor played by Jodie Whittaker, who we will lovingly call Dr. Karen. And now we're like 3 years in, and it's a massive failure. The audience has rejected Jodie. The ratings have crashed. The brand is dead. For all intents and purposes, the brand is fucking dead. Toys are starting to be later and later. I've got pre-orders out for years that are never going to see again because the shit's just not being made anymore because the brand is fucking dead. And instead of going, you know what? She sucked. I was wrong. It's easier to go, white supremacist. Let them talk. Let them talk. Because the universe, there's nothing I can say or do to them that the universe hasn't done already. Catzilla for $19.99. Hail, Gary, enjoying the show today. Thanks for being you. Well, you're welcome. That's all I can be. Some of the ankle biters can't be themselves. They feel like they can't be themselves for whatever reason. I don't know what that reason is. It's none of my biz. But, and then they get caught not being themselves. My current pull list is all four Spawn, Berserker, Last Ronin. Okay, so that's, I'm going to have to start adding Spawn, but Berserker and Last Ronin are on mine. King Spawn is great. Now collecting 90s Rise of the Midnight Suns and Uncanny X-Men. Hail, Friday Night Tights. Fuck yeah, Midnight Suns is awesome. And the fact that Marvel, I almost made a video about this. That fucking video game called Midnight Suns, S-U-N, and you had to take out the sons because the male sons. Are you fucking kidding me? Now, it's fucking retarded. Yes, there's a video game called Midnight Suns, and they spell it S-U-N-S. And you go, well, why? Is it maybe because of the term Midnight Sun? Or is it that there's girls in the group now, and you can't call it Midnight Suns because a sun is male? I don't fucking know. All I know is Ghost Rider looks stupid. And it's led by generic Marvel superhero girl. I know it's a character I'm supposed to recognize, but I don't because they've removed any uniqueness from the female characters and their costumes. WG for $100. Holy shit. WG. Hail, Gary. Here's a little cash for the surplus Soviet 77th Guards Motor Rifle Division T-60 Tank Commander set. A headset for you on eBay to match your vintage Gufanov brand microphone. Hey, I love this color. All jokes aside, keep up the good fight. Das Vidania to California. And hello, Texas. I don't know why I turned into Arnold Schwarzenegger. Probably because he's a fucking traitorous bastard. Screw your freedom. Go fuck yourself, Arnold. Pick a better maid to fuck. It was the dark. I couldn't see her. I was drunk. And now I have a son. Stick Sexenheimer. Good YouTuber right there. Welcome to the Proto-Molecule level, Jason B. Catzilla. Thanks again for the super chat. And thank you, Unknown George, for $5. Fatman 72 for $2. You rock. Hail, Gary. Keep up the great work. Thank you. You rock, too. You all rock. Disco Cobra 2013 for $5. Pretty sure some channels are surpassed by YouTube at times for being either right-leaning or just against the narrative of the far left. Does happen. Yes, channels get on the what I was trying to remember what Gundam called it. Whoops. It's like the bad behavior list. So there is a bad behavior list. I totally agree. But one of the guys on FNT recently talked to their person at YouTube, and we're good. There are people who are okay with what we do, but it depends on who you get, okay? Because there are people who work at YouTube who are not okay with what we do, and it's very subjective. So it depends on who's watching over us that day. It's the way it goes. I don't think anything we do is wrong. I don't think we're even close to being the things that we're accused of. I never thought that. That's why I think it's ridiculous. It's laughable. And it means they have no argument. I thought Shang-Chi was fantastic. I thought it was shit. Why did you think it was good? You're a racist. Oh. I kind of didn't like it because the main character wasn't prevalent and the performance was bad. And they made his sister more powerful than he was. And it was his movie. Like, if you wanted to make it Shang-Chi's sister's movie, call it Zayling. But you know why they didn't call it Zayling? Because they knew nobody would fucking go. Off to bed, but we'll listen at work tomorrow. Dean Loveday, thank you for the £8.99. This live stream will be available within the next 2 hours on Nerdrotic Live, or just hang on to the link. Because I unlist all the most of the live streams after they're done. I re-upload them to Nerdrotic Live. And it's also available on Spotify, iTunes, or nerdrotic.com. But Disco Cobra, yes, some people get in trouble. I think we all were around election time. As a matter of fact, I know we were. I know we all were. Because that was fucking strange. If Jeremy's out there, he'll know what I'm talking about. Micro Omega, thank you for... I can't see your comment. I'm looking for it. There it is. Look at me. Look at me. I'm looking. How did that? Boom. That got stuck. Sorry. Oh, we're going to have to wrap up pretty soon. Because I'm hungry. Thank God my air conditioning works. Dean Loveday, thanks again for the super chat. I appreciate it. WG, thank you for the $100. All right. Next show will be tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific time with yours truly, Az and Mahler. And I honestly can't remember what... is it I can't remember if it's on my channel or his channel. I can't remember. I could look real quick, I suppose, and find out. That would probably be helpful. Pretty sure it's mine. Yep, it's mine because Az did a 9-hour real BBC last week. So right here, 10 a.m. tomorrow, Mahler is going to read comic books and respond to them. Az and I will be also covering the Longbow Hunters, one of the great Grell Green Arrow stories. And we're also going to cover King Spawn #1, which will be fun, which will be a lot of fun. And we'll also talk about the latest Hollywood stuff. Everybody be back to work tomorrow. This was just kind of a whatever the fuck Labor Day live stream. Kind of chill-ish, I would say. Shang-Chi sucks shit. It was Shang-Chi, whatever you want to call it. And the Legend of the 10 Bracelets. Shang-Chi's sister and the Legend of the 10 Bracelets. Thanks again. If you have watched the Shang-Chi review, if you haven't, go check it out on my channel right now. And you'll get to see the full review. Merchandise is coming. I already mentioned that. We'll have another nooner on Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And Friday Night Tights will be this Friday. Guest to be announced. But very soon. We'll probably announce it tomorrow. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff I'm like on the close to telling you, but I can't tell you right now. That sucks. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm just going to get to work. So thank you, everyone who participated. Thank you to the chat. Thank you to the Nerdrotics. Thank you to everyone who sent a donation via Streamlabs or sent a super chat. I appreciate you all. We appreciate you all. Thank you to everyone who made Friday Night Tights, All Hail Friday Night Tights, a #1 song for a couple of days on iTunes UK and Amazon and Amazon America, USA, and UK. I can talk. And we'll see you all next time. Please enjoy. We'll do the theme. Let's do the theme and the video.
Nerdrotic.com.
Not that one. We'll do this one. Not all who wander are.
ちょっと待ったー！カップヌードルよりカレー飯 NO！ こっちもお湯を注ぐだけ5分待ったら仕上がり混ぜると無駄にうまくなるすすらなくていいから食べさせやすい
Again?
麺と飯どっちが好き
はい
ほらほらとにかくファーストバイトうわ何この感覚
私が間違ってました
麺より飯
Stop calling your female colleagues smart or clever or brilliant. It's sexist.
Hey, real talk. Real talk.
Let's fucking go.
Wait a minute, if I picked this expert, what would happen?
It's so hurtful.
No 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 He's the victim
Resident Evil 6.
What really happened on that Thursday here at Augusta High School that led to Chris Wood's death? The fuck is that? Shit! I'm dying in this fucking country-ass fucked up town. Shit flying in my mouth. The fuck? I can't see pollen. Let's get the fuck out this country, motherfucker. I can't even see me.
Nerdrotic.com.
Here they come and the crowd cannot wait. All hail Friday Night Tights. I apologize 'cause I'm probably history's easy.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.